You clearly have hundreds of fierce beasts imprisoned within you, yet you have always been unable to awaken your beast soul power to become a beast master. This is only because all these fierce beasts are in a dormant state, needing to absorb your beast soul power to awaken. For 18 years, you repeatedly failed to awaken your beast soul, which also led your entire family to regard you as a good-for-nothing. So they arranged for you to go to a remote county town to manage the family business. But just after your last failed awakening, a voice suddenly came from your mind. After consuming the energy from 10 awakening attempts, this old man's consummate beast power has finally recovered 1% of this old man's strength, allowing this old man to awaken from the darkness. Hearing this, you immediately widened your eyes and hurried back to your room. After sitting down cross-legged, your consciousness entered a completely dark space. Looking around, you discovered you were in a long corridor. On both sides of the corridor were cells, each with an area of hundreds of square meters and over 10 meters high. On the first cell to your left, the number 100 was written, while on the cell to your right, the number 99 was displayed. Suddenly, you noticed on the cell's wall, a string of words was written: Ancient Demonic Beast, Howling Moon Silver Wolf, Ancient Demonic Beast. This white wolf is an ancient demonic beast? How is that possible? On this Tianyuan continent, people awaken beast souls and absorb beast souls to become beast masters. Beast souls are calculated according to the age of the demonic beasts. 10-year demonic beasts, 100-year demonic beasts, 1,000-year demonic beasts, 10,000-year demonic beasts, 100,000-year demonic beasts, and above that are the legendary ancient demonic beasts. At this moment, the howling moon silver wolf seemed to sense your shock. Hello, dear prison master, how may I help you? Hearing this, you recoiled in horror, crashing directly into the iron cage of cell number 99 opposite. You subconsciously looked back, only to see in the iron cage of cell number 99, a snake as thick as a water bucket, completely black, and estimated to be dozens of meters long. A large snake was coiled motionless in the corner. Looking further, the cell prominently displayed Ancient Demonic Beast, Spirit Venom Python. Prison Master, don't be afraid. We will not harm you. Who exactly are you? Prison Master, this is the space within the ring you are wearing on your hand. This ring is called the Beast Ring. This space is called the Beast Prison. The entire Beast Prison is divided into 4 levels, namely Heaven, Earth, Profound, and Yellow for grades. Currently, the level the Prison Master is on is the Huang, Yellow character grade cell block, imprisoning 100 different ancient demonic beasts. At the end of the corridor is the staircase leading to the Xian, Profound, character grade level above. In the Xian character grade cell block are imprisoned demonic beasts even more powerful than ancient demonic beasts. And above that, in the D, Emperor character grade cell block, are imprisoned even more formidable primordial demonic beasts. The final level, the Tian, Heaven character grade room, imprisons the most powerful archaic demonic beasts. That's not right. Aren't ancient demonic beasts the most powerful? Is there, above them, an even more powerful existence? Of course, after the beast power from 10 awakenings was absorbed by me, I was able to awaken, coupled with your blood, recognizing you as master through a drop of blood, activated this beast prison space. We were then able to meet. What? You instantly pounced forward like a fierce beast, firmly grasping the arm-thick iron bars of cell number 100. You finally understood why you had failed every awakening attempt for the past 10 years. As your anger surged, a destructive pressure was released from your body, crushing the howling moon silver wolf. No. Prison Master, please don't kill me. Please wait a moment. The howling moon silver wolf immediately turned pale with fright, its massive body cowering in the corner, repeatedly begging for mercy. You have activated the beast prison and will gain the power of all the demonic beasts within the entire beast prison. Don't you want a beast soul of an ancient demonic beast? Hearing this, your anger gradually subsided. The beast soul woman of the ancient demonic beast gave all the matters to explain everything to me in detail. If you don't give me a perfect explanation, I won't spare you. After saying that, you then realized that you actually, within this space, possessed the power to absolutely punish demon beasts. Lord of the prison, all demon beasts within the prison are currently in a dormant state, but as long as there is enough power for us to devour, we can all awaken. And you, Lord of the prison, as the master of the prison, all demon beasts within the beast realm can be commanded by you. Furthermore, although you failed to awaken for 10 years, You can now go out and awaken again. As long as I don't absorb the power of beasts, you will naturally awaken the power of beasts. If it's truly as you say, I can choose to forgive you. Then you focused your mind and withdrew from the beast realm. Outside, it was pitch black. You also didn't know what time it was now. You nervously approached the beast soul stone and tremblingly placed your right hand on it. The moment your right hand touched the beast soul stone, a surge of immense pressure immediately emanated from the beast soul stone. This was a feeling you had never experienced during any awakening ceremony in the past 10 years. It's real, it's actually real. Everything Xiaoya Yinglang said was true. The beast soul stone suddenly lit up with bursts of light. 1 stage, 2 stages, 3 time periods feeling the immense power surging within you, you let out a hearty laugh. The light on the beast soul stone dissipated. You tiptoed back into the room. Early the next morning, you took your wife and rode in a carriage to Yong'an County to manage a family tavern business. At this time, 5 or 6 mysterious figures in black followed closely behind, following you out of the city. Young master, this time, after catching Li Xian's wife, you must let us have a taste of the soup. What soup are you talking about? She is still my sister-in-law, after all. How could you scoundrels possibly defile her? After speaking, he rode his horse, neither fast nor slow, following the carriage ahead. This person was none other than Li Xiao, your half-brother. Not only did he awaken the power of the beast soul at the age of 8, but now he even possessed a 400-year-old Gale demonic wolf beast soul. Relying on his father's affection for his profound talent, 3 days ago on your wedding night, he actually forced his way into your bridal chamber and, taking advantage of his drunkenness, attempted to commit an improper act against your wife. At that time, you had not yet awakened your beast realm. You could only fight with all your might. Fortunately, your father's arrival ultimately prevented the tragedy. But he, because of this, harbored resentment, vowing to defile your wife and then silence you. Fearing an unforeseen incident, Li Xiao followed for a full 30 li, preparing to make his move. This place was Wanglong Steel. Bandits frequently appeared here, killing you here unknown to gods or ghosts, and pinning the blame on the bandits. The next moment, a family of 5 Ma-Du immediately chased after them. The sound of urgent hoofbeats approached. Hearing this, you immediately leaned out the window to look. Upon seeing Li Xiao at the head, your expression immediately changed. Stay in the carriage for a while. Whatever you do, don't come out. You patted Su Xuan's hand and instructed. The next moment, you focused your attention on the beast realm. You entered the beast domain. I've encountered danger. How do I use you as my beast soul? Lord of the prison, you only need to circulate your beast power and focus your attention on the beast realm. Once I sense your beast power, I will naturally enter your body and become your beast soul. All right. You immediately left the beast realm and told the carriage to stop. My good-for-nothing older brother. I didn't expect to see Saw here. Why don't you come out and see me? After all, after today, he will be mine. Haha. Who knew that as soon as his voice fell, he immediately began to channel his spirit. Then, a phantom of a gray evil wolf emerged from his body. It hovered in the air above Li Xiao's back. This is Li Xiao's bestowed soul. This is a 400-year-old Gale demonic wolf beast soul. What do you have to fight me with? My good-for-nothing older brother, and you. Looking at the Gale demonic wolf behind Li Xiao, the phantom greedily licked its lips. How about it? How much strength can a 400-year-old beast soul restore for you? The voice of the laughing moon lustful wolf came from within the beast realm in his mind. 400 years can allow me to increase my strength by 5%. Very good. I wonder if my 10-year-old beast soul, is it qualified enough? Under everyone's gaze, a white light suddenly appeared from within your body. The next moment, a beast measuring 7 to 8 meters long, a wolf-like demonic beast, pure white like the moonlight, slowly emerged behind you. The laughing moon welcoming wolf howled towards the sky. The Gale demonic wolf behind Li Xiao, at this moment, was like a grandson, trembling in fear. You have a beast soul? Impossible. This is impossible. This can't be a 10-year-old beast soul. This is a 1,000-year-old. No, no, no. This is a 10,000-year-old beast soul. Those who came with Li Xiao, the other 4 Li family disciples, immediately widened their eyes upon hearing this. This is fake. This is an illusion you created. Gale demonic wolf. Kill him for me. The laughing moon welcoming wolf opened its huge mouth and a powerful aura from an ancient demonic beast surged forth. Before the gale demonic wolf could even move, it was swallowed whole. The beast's soul was forcefully devoured. The soul contract, severed, caused Li Xiao to suffer a severe backlash. Without a word, Li Xiao immediately fell to his knees. "Brother, please spare me. It's your younger brother. I'm your own blood brother." Li Xiao, with one hand, clutched your legs, pleading in a panic. Seeing this, the other four immediately mounted their horses and fled into the distance. "Laughing moon welcoming wolf. Kill them for me." The huge, 7 to 8 meter long laughing moon welcoming wolf pounced forward. With a single leap, it landed in front of the four individuals. Opening its bloody maw, the few individuals were directly swallowed by the laughing moon welcoming wolf. Looking at Li Xiao twitching on the ground, Li Xian showed not a shred of pity. His internal energy circulated, gathering in his right leg. The next moment, he stomped down fiercely, directly crushing Li Xiao's head. And when Li Xian turned to look at Su Xianwan had already been scared unconscious by the bloody scene before her. "Xianwan." Li Xian rushed over to help Su Xianwan up. He then casually found a horse. After Li Xian simply repaired the carriage, he placed Su Xianwan inside it. Looking at Li Xiao's white horse and the other remaining horses, Li Xian's expression shifted. He then patted the horses' flanks, driving them away. Looking around, Li Xian discovered that this was Dragon Gazing Slope, a place frequently infested by bandits. Thinking of this, Li Xian walked over and took all of Li Xiao's belongings, thoroughly stripping him clean. Then he pushed the corpse into the bushes. After doing all this, Li Xian clapped his hands and then drove the carriage away from Dragon Gazing Slope. And after Li Xian left, the bandits of Dragon Gazing Slope also arrived here. The commotion caused by the laughing moon welcoming wolf earlier had drawn the distant bandits here. As they came, they encountered several excellent horses along the way. After leading them away, these bandits didn't even notice that a corpse was discarded in the roadside bushes. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Things picked up will also bring you utter disaster. A few days later, news of Li Xiao's disappearance immediately spread throughout Lingyun City. The Li family dispatched a large number of people to search for Li Zhanyuan. They thought it was the work of several other rival families. But when they received news that the bandits of Wanglong Steel had Li Xiao and his precious horses, they immediately led their people there. The bandits of Wanglong Steel never dreamed that the few horses they had picked up were actually from the Li family of Lingyun City. When Li Zhan saw those precious horses of the Li family, he immediately took control of the entire bandit den. But the bandits were utterly bewildered. They knew nothing. And at this very moment, someone discovered Li Xiao's body on the pass road of Wanglong Steel. All of Li Xiao's belongings had disappeared. His precious horses reappeared with the bandits. The matter was obvious. Even the city lord of Lingyun City hadn't expected that the Wanglong Steel bandits, who had troubled them for decades, would be completely slaughtered by the Li family overnight. But no one seemed to notice that although the bandits had the strength to kill Li Xiao, on that day, among the bandit leaders, the only Silver Jade Beastmaster was not in the bandit den. And Li Xiao, as an outstanding talent of the younger generation, had reached the Bronze Jade Beastmaster level at just 16 years old. Looking at the entire bandit den, those capable of killing Li Xiao were few and far between. No one paid attention to an ordinary person who had already been sent away to another region to manage the family's businesses. Yangon County was not large, and its geographical location was remote. It seemed Li Zhan was truly disappointed with Li Xian. The entire grand structure had an extremely vast scope. Under the 18 major Lingqing, dozens of Zongqing were managed separately. Below the Zongqing, there were countless county towns and villages. On Tianyuan continent, each country referred to the governing cities as leader cities, meaning leadership, similar to the provincial capitals in Li Xian's previous world. Zongqing were cities subordinate to the Lingqing. They were equivalent to the second, third, and fourth-tier cities from Li Xian's past. It had been a few days since they arrived in Yangon County. Su Xianwan had also recovered from the weak state she was in after being frightened unconscious that day. "Husband," Su Xianwan called out weakly. "Xianwan," Li Xian said, bringing chicken soup to the bedside. "How are you doing?" "Much better," Li Xian said, slowly helping Su Xianwan sit up. He let her lean against the headboard. "Here, drink some chicken soup." "Husband, you've had it hard these past few days," Su Xianwan said apologetically. Having just entered the family, she was already being cared for so meticulously by Li Xian. Su Xianwan felt a pang of discomfort in her heart. You're my wife. Taking care of you is what I should do. Once you're better, you can help me manage the tavern. Li Xian carefully blew on the chicken soup, then spoon-fed it to Su Xianwan mouthful by mouthful. After drinking the chicken soup, Su Xianwan's complexion was noticeably better. You should rest well. I'm going to check on the tavern. Yangon County isn't big, and there aren't many people. The tavern business is just average. You don't need to help for now. Su Xianwan nodded happily from her bed. Yangon County was a county town under the jurisdiction of Luyuan City. It wasn't far from Su Xianwan's maiden home, so it would be convenient for Su Xianwan to visit her family whenever she wanted. The entire tavern was located on the central street of the county town. It had 2 floors, facing the street. Behind it were a wine cellar and a brewery. Further back was the courtyard where Li Xian currently lived. Including the tavern staff and brewers, there were a total of 15 people. After Li Xian arrived, he directly took over all matters. However, Li Xian didn't interfere with any of the work, letting them continue to follow the old procedures. And everyone's benefits were increased. This way, Li Xian could be a hands-off boss with great peace of mind. They say a new official takes 3 fires upon assuming office, but Li Xian was different when he arrived. The treatment for all 15 employees was increased a lot. This made everyone have a good impression of Li Xian. In the adjacent room, Li Xian pushed open the door and walked in. It had been 2 or 3 days since he arrived in Yangon County, and Li Xian hadn't had time to check all the items he had obtained from killing Li Xiao. Killing Li Xiao and devouring the beast soul of the Gale demonic wolf allowed the Roaring Mountain Silver Wolf's recovery rate to increase by devouring the other 4 people. Increased to 66%. Equivalent to the power of a 600-year life soul. Looking across the entire Yong'an County. Reaching this level. Even the county magistrate hasn't reached Li Xian's height. Absorbing life souls is extremely difficult. To achieve a very high compatibility, first, the beast soul you absorb must be personally slain by you. This leads to many people's initial absorbed beast souls only being over 10 years old. Think about it. You, someone who hasn't even reached the Black Iron Beastmaster level, going to kill a demonic beast several hundred years old. Even Li Xiao, he too, with the help of many experts from the Li family, delivered the final blow to finish off the demonic beast. Only then obtained that 400-year-old Gale demonic wolf. As for Li Xian's 600-year-old ancient demonic beast, one can imagine how powerful it is. Opening the satchel, a stack of silver notes appeared inside. These funds were what he had when he left. From the family and from Li Xiao, totaling 30,000 taels. 30,000 taels for an ordinary family is something they couldn't earn in a lifetime. But for Li Xian, this is just the price of a century-old medicinal herb, or the cost of Beastmaster materials. Li Xian is now also considered a Black Iron Beastmaster, equivalent to the Smiling Moon Silver Wolf with a 600-year life soul. For now, it's sufficient for Li Xian's use. Therefore, now, Li Xian must find a way to raise his strength to the Bronze Beastmaster level. Reaching this level, traveling anywhere in the Great Xia Kingdom, would give him a bit of confidence. In this Tianyuan continent where Beastmasters are dominant, the Beastmaster ranks are divided into Black Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, King, Star, Glorious Moon, Blazing Sun. These 10 ranks. A Black Iron Beastmaster only needs to acquire a beast soul of their own. That's all. To reach Bronze Beastmaster, you need to be able to perfectly unleash the beast soul's power. The technical term for this is compatibility. A newly absorbed beast soul. Its compatibility will depend on the process by which you slew the demonic beast, and is directly related to your control ability. If a demonic beast was slain by you from beginning to end, then the compatibility will definitely be higher. Another factor is your control ability. The higher your control ability, the greater the beast soul's power that can be unleashed, and the higher the compatibility will be. Li Xian doesn't need to risk hunting demonic beasts in the wild. Several hundred powerful demonic beasts within his beast ring. He can freely turn them into beast souls for himself. Of course, the prerequisite is having enough energy. As for compatibility, the Smiling Moon Silver Wolf said, Li Xian possesses the power of a great perfection life soul. Plus, it is completely obedient to Li Xian. Therefore, for Li Xian's use of the Smiling Moon Silver Wolf, its beast soul abilities, the compatibility, can easily reach 100%. He can perfectly and flawlessly unleash the power of the Smiling Moon Silver Wolf. In other words, Li Xian should now be considered to have entered the Bronze Beastmaster rank. And the next goal is the Silver Beastmaster rank. The condition for a Silver Beastmaster is that the beast soul can engage in independent combat. When a Beastmaster absorbs a beast soul, the beast soul is subservient to the Beastmaster and cannot leave the Beastmaster's person, cannot leave the Beastmaster's body. Otherwise, the beast soul will gradually dissipate. However, a Silver Beastmaster can allow their beast soul to engage in independent combat. In this way, the beast soul can more perfectly unleash the strength of its own demonic beast form. But then, Li Xian suddenly remembered the scene when he killed the 4 people beside Li Xiao. At that time, the Smiling Moon Silver Wolf seemed to instantly leap out from his body. Lord Warden, these past few days, I have also come to understand your current world. The Smiling Moon Silver Wolf's voice suddenly rang out. In your current world, in my opinion, the so-called Beastmasters below Gold Tier are all the same. There's no difference. We are all ancient demonic beasts, transformed into beast souls to assist our master in battle. Don't even mention compatibility or off-body combat. These are all effortless. So, according to you, I have now reached the silver tier of Beastmasters? Li Xian asked, full of disbelief. You could say that. Moreover, Master, if you restore my strength to 100%, at that point we can merge into one. That's what you call a gold tier Beastmaster. That's right. Gold tier Beastmasters can merge with their beast souls, gaining the powerful strength of the beast soul. This is the ability of a gold tier Beastmaster. I am a silver tier Beastmaster. I am already a silver tier Beastmaster now. Haha, after understanding his own strength, Li Xian appeared utterly incredulous. Others don't know how long they need to strive, how long they need to struggle to reach 100% compatibility, and allow their beast soul to fight in a physical form. Now, simply because his beast soul is an ancient demonic beast, he can directly ignore these factors. So, next, I only need to expend energy to increase your recovery rate, is that right? Of course, when I recover, that will be when Master reaches the Gold Tier Beastmaster level. A Gold Tier Beastmaster. Li Xian sighed with emotion. Even his nominal father, Li Zhan, was only a Gold Tier Beastmaster. And he was only one step away from that level. When he returns to Lingyun City then, who in the Li family would dare to point fingers at him? His heart surged with excitement for a while, before Li Xian finally calmed his emotions. What he had plundered from Li Xiao was not just silver notes. There was also a ring. Li Xian recognized this item. It was called an origin ring. It was made from a special material found on the Tianyuan continent and crafted into this. Within this origin ring, there was a world of its own. The size varied depending on the material. It was an essential item for home and travel. This origin ring couldn't be used just by picking it up. The owner of the origin ring would use beast force to set up a barrier on the origin ring. Unless one possessed strength greater than the original owner, they would simply be unable to unlock the origin ring's barrier. First, circulate your beast force, then envelop this origin ring. The next moment, the beast force transformed into a long spear and charged towards the origin ring's barrier. With a faint crack, a subtle sound of shattering rang out. The origin ring's barrier was broken through by Li Xian's beast force. In Li Xian's mind, all the scenes within the origin ring immediately appeared. The space inside was roughly 5 cubic meters in size. The items inside were haphazardly piled up. Among them, gold and silver treasures were piled in one heap, 5 playthings were piled in another, and miscellaneous daily necessities were piled in another. In a corner, there were also some exquisite gift boxes. These were all things Li Xiao had siphoned from the family's finances over the years. He took out those exquisite gift boxes. Li Xian opened them one by one. This is a beast skill. Looking at an ancient, blue lacquered cover book placed inside, Li Xian's eyes immediately widened. A Beastmaster's main strength comes from their beast soul. The beast soul itself possesses combat experience from its previous life. But after reaching the silver tier, beast souls can fight separately from the body. Then the Beastmaster themselves would appear isolated and helpless. Thus, beast skills came into being. The use of beast skills is based on beast force and releases a powerful ability. If used in conjunction with one's own beast soul, its power will be even greater. If the beast skill also aligns with the beast soul's attribute, then its power will be even further enhanced. On this beast skill book, the words Gale Wind were clearly written. Gale Wind. Gale Wind. Demonic Wolf. Li Xian suddenly thought of Li Zhao's beast soul. It seems this must be something that Nominal Father found for this guy. It's just that Li Xiao doesn't seem to have cultivated it yet. He flipped through it. Clearly written above were the ranks of this beast record. Beast records were also divided by ranks. Beast records were mainly divided into the heaven, earth, profound, and yellow ranks. And this volume of points in his hand was surprisingly a yellow rank middle grade. The beast record could be considered of average quality. Afterwards, Li Xian again looked through the other gift boxes. Among them, Li Xian finally discovered a treasure that could be used. Master, this is 200-year-old maple forest grass. The smiling moon welcoming wolf, who was within the beast prison, seemed to also sense this immense power. It immediately woke up. It said excitedly, "How much strength can I recover if I swallow this?" "At least to the level of 10. The smiling moon welcoming wolf said confidently. But the next moment, the smiling moon welcoming wolf suddenly hesitated. I actually don't wish for Master to use this maple forest grass on my body." "Why?" Li Xian immediately asked, puzzled. "Recovering your strength. Isn't that good for both you and me?" "Master, currently, my recovery is at level 6, which is temporarily enough to ensure Master's safety. But Master's methods are too singular. I actually have a better idea. Tell me about it." Li Xian immediately grew curious. "Master, please first enter the beast prison." Li Xian's expression stirred. He immediately flashed and arrived inside the beast prison. Inside the pitch-black, icy cold beast prison, the snow-white smiling moon welcoming wolf slowly stood up. Coming to the front of the cage, the smiling moon welcoming wolf slowly said, "Master, in this yellow rank prison cell are imprisoned 100 ancient demonic beasts, including myself. Their abilities are all different. If Master can revive other ancient demonic beasts, then Master will also gain different strengths. Isn't that right?" Hearing this, Li Xian immediately opened his eyes wide. The smiling moon welcoming wolf's strength was beyond doubt. But if he awakened other different demonic beasts, Li Xian would also gain different abilities. "Master, the higher ranked the demonic beasts are, the stronger their comprehensive strength will be. First, go and learn about their identities and backgrounds, as well as their strengths. Then, choose suitable ones to revive." Li Xian said half-jokingly. "So, it turns out this 100th one is the weakest? Haha, that's natural. Among demonic beasts, the strong are respected. It's survival of the fittest. My strength, how much it's truly worth. In front of the other ancient demonic beasts, I'm still self-aware." The smiling moon welcoming wolf wasn't bothered in the slightest by Li Xian's teasing. "All right then, I'll go and learn about them first." Saying this, Li Xian nodded. Then he started to examine them one by one. No, 100 was the smiling moon silver wolf. No, 99 was that spirit poison python. Its abilities included powerful poison and powerful coiling abilities. No, 98 was a demonic beast called Xianxia. It possessed powerful defensive abilities. No, 97 was an illusion butterfly. It had very strong illusionary abilities. As he looked through them one after another, Li Xian was also pondering what kind of abilities he currently needed. The smiling moon welcoming wolf possessed powerful speed and attack abilities. As for the attack aspect, Li Xian was already satisfied. Therefore, if he wanted to choose a suitable demonic beast, Li Xian planned to choose a support-type demonic beast. And at this very moment, Li Xian suddenly saw the one ranked 8th, a humanoid demonic beast called the Glorious Light Emissary. The Glorious Light Emissary's appearance was like that of an angel, and furthermore, a female angel. She lay quietly in the prison cell, unclothed. The smiling moon welcoming wolf said, "Don't be deceived by her appearance. Beneath that radiant and alluring exterior lies a cruel demonic beast's heart. She can heal others, but she feeds on hearts. It's her. The reason I chose the Glorious Light Emissary was mainly because she possessed powerful, healing abilities." Of course, that's what Li Xian told the smiling moon welcoming wolf. As for the hidden schemes in his heart, no one knew. After all, men are boys until they die. Who could refuse an angel without clothes? The angel had 2 pairs of wings. Her chest was proudly prominent, enough to make most women pale in comparison. A head of golden hair, definitely an alien species. And there was a pair of horns on its head, similar to deer antlers, yet they were pure and pristine white. He slowly took out the maple forest grass. Li Xian, towards this bright envoy, used 200-year-old maple forest grass. It transformed into pure energy, like a wisp of green smoke. It drilled into the bright envoy's body. The next moment, within the silent cage, a muffled groan suddenly sounded. Li Xian immediately opened his eyes wide in excitement. He saw the bright envoy slowly sit up. Bare-bottomed, he sat on the cold ground, which made Li Xian feel a pang of pity. But then, upon seeing it, Li Xian almost spat blood. The 200-year-old maple forest grass had only restored 2% of the bright envoy's recovery progress. However, Xiao Yuing Lang said, the more advanced the demonic beast, the stronger its power. Therefore, the more energy required for its recovery. This was understandable. But then he saw, after the bright envoy woke up, he was squatting in the corner, looking at Li Xian with trembling eyes. He didn't dare to come closer. Hey, hello. I am the master of this beast prison. I am your prison lord. Li Xian showed what he thought was a very kind and friendly smile. He waved his hand. The next moment, the bright envoy indeed moved. He saw him reveal a delicate and pitiful appearance. Pouting his lips, he slowly came before Li Xian. My lord prison master, did you revive me? It's so dark here. I'm so scared. This appearance, this voice, this fragility that made men want to desperately protect him, even moved Li Xian's heart. My lord prison master, I'm so scared. I've been asleep for who knows how many years. Can you let me out? The bright envoy's index finger, delicate as a lotus root with countless fine threads, as if subtly marred, gently grasped the thick, black iron bars. Of course, no problem. But you must become my beast soul. Li Xian wasn't foolish. He naturally knew this bright envoy had ulterior motives. Can I not be a beast soul? If you let me out, I'll stay by your side every day. I'll do whatever you ask me to do. The bright envoy slowly extended his right hand, wanting to touch Li Xian. But just as he touched Li Xian, a black lightning bolt shot out from Li Xian's body. This black lightning bolt directly struck the bright envoy's pure white, jade-like hand. Ah! The bright envoy let out a scream and quickly retracted his arm. Upon looking closer, on that delicate jade hand, a black wound had actually appeared. My lord prison master, you're so fierce. You don't pity the fair and tender at all, the bright envoy said, feeling wronged. So, will you be my beast soul or not? Li Xian asked with a cold snort. A beast soul can only be inside your body, but I want to stay by your side at all times. Don't you want to possess my body? Saying this, the bright envoy stood up. Then, within the cell, he gracefully swayed his body. Gulp! Li Xian unconsciously swallowed a mouthful of saliva. That slight quiver inviting him to partake. Of course I want to. However, I still hope you'll be my beast soul. Li Xian wasn't foolish. This guy was charming and seductive. If he let him out, he would probably be the bane of countless men. And his cleansed heart was still that of an ancient demonic beast. One can well imagine. His ferocity was directly proportional to his beauty. Li Xian seemed a little impatient. Agree or not? Seeing Li Xian's expression suddenly change, he wouldn't fall for his tricks at all. Guangming Xianxia could only sigh and give up. He knew that, in this prison realm, the prison master was the ruler. If Li Xian wanted to kill him, a single thought would be enough. Continuing further was meaningless. Since the Beast Master Lord requested it, then Guangming Xianxia also had no objection. Seeing this, Li Xian immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Don't worry. Once you become my bestowed soul, I will fully restore your strength. After speaking, Li Xian turned and left triumphantly. But at this moment, Li Xian suddenly remembered something. Oh right. If you become my bestowed soul, when I summon you out, will you also look like this? That is natural, Guangming Xianxia said without hesitation. No, that won't do, that won't do. Li Xian repeatedly shook his head and said, I can't let other men feast their eyes on you. I'll go find you some clothes to wear, he said. Li Xian conjured a storage space. Then he found a set of Su Xianhuan's clothes and put them on Guangming Xianxia. Oh right, Guangming Xianxia can restore Xianhuan's weak body. Why not use Guangming Xianxia to treat her? Thinking of this, Li Xian hurriedly went to the room. Husband. Seeing Li Xian enter, Su Xianhuan propped herself up with her arms, wanting to sit up. Lie down quickly. Lie down quickly. Li Xian strode forward in one swift motion, gently helping Su Xianhuan up. Close your eyes. I'll help you with some treatment. Husband, you even know healing arts? Su Xianhuan asked in surprise. But she still obediently closed her eyes. Li Xian stood up and circulated the beast power within his body. The next moment, two beast souls actually appeared in Li Xian's mind. One of them was the laughing moon silver wolf. The other was none other than Guangming Xianxia. It's you. He focused his attention on Guangming Xianxia. The next moment, Guangming Xianxia transformed into a beast soul, slowly appearing in the air behind Li Xian. Li Xian turned to look, but was surprised to see that Guangming Xianxia, at this moment, was not wearing the clothes he had given him. Instead, his body was enveloped in a faint golden glow. An unrestrained angel stood behind him, with hands crossed over his chest. Long, fair thighs were exposed. A slender waist like a willow branch, a cute navel adorned the very center. Guangming Xianxia slightly opened his eyes, revealing a faint smile. The beast power within Li Xian's body combined with the beast soul. He gently extended his arms, but saw behind him, Guangming Xianxia also made the same motion. Then he gently bent down and lifted Su Xianhuan from the bed. Guangming Xianxia emitted a soft glow, then enveloped Su Xianhuan's entire body. And at this moment, Li Xian silently opened his eyes with ease, summoning the beast soul. Beast masters are connected to their beast souls telepathically. At this moment, through the beast soul, Li Xian could clearly sense Su Xianhuan's internal condition. He saw that within Su Xianhuan's abdomen, a mass of black mist had actually gathered. This mist enveloped the original place of affliction, making it impossible to see what was truly inside. Moreover, judging from the way the mist had gathered within her body, the time this mist had been accumulating in Su Xianhuan's body was probably not just a matter of a few days. It was estimated that it had been accumulating in her body since childhood. As for the rest of Su Xianhuan's body, it quickly recovered with the help of Guangming Xianxia. Amidst his confusion, Li Xian gently placed Su Xianhuan back on the bed. Immediately, Li Xian withdrew the beast soul and returned to his original state. Su Xianhuan opened her eyes in disbelief and actually stood up as if nothing had happened. Husband, I feel much better. Her body was no longer so weak. You were only scared. Actually, there's nothing serious, Li Xian comforted. Xuanji asked doubtfully, Wife, that mass of black energy from the source of reception within your body, what kind of black energy is it? What black energy? Su Xianhuan asked with a bewildered expression. Seeing Su Xianhuan's reaction, Li Xian guessed that she might be completely unaware of it. He didn't bring up the matter again. Li Xian immediately had an idea. Su Xianhuan was already Li Xian's. As her husband, Li Xian had to understand Su Xianhuan's situation. Oh, right, Yong'an County isn't far from your Luyuan city. Let's prepare today. How about we go to Luyuan city tomorrow? Really? Hearing that she was going back to her parents' home, Su Xianhuan excitedly leaped up. Husband, are we really going back to my family's home? Of course. We haven't paid our respects to your family since the wedding. This time we'll prepare and I can go visit as well. My father-in-law is truly wonderful. Husband, you are too kind to me. Just going back to her parents' home once made Su Xianhuan this happy. Li Xian couldn't help but smile. But in reality, his going there was mainly to figure out Su Xianhuan's physical condition. Having just arrived in Yong'an County, there wasn't much to tidy up. During dinner that afternoon, Su Xianhuan was still basking in the afterglow of happiness, appearing somewhat absent-minded. The sun set in the west. The moon rose overhead. Su Xianhuan brought the foot-washing water and placed it before Li Xian, then gently took off Li Xian's shoes. The steaming hot foot-washing water. Li Xian let out a long, comfortable sigh. Su Xianhuan lowered her head and washed Li Xian's feet. There were no servants here, so all of Li Xian's daily care had to be handled by Su Xianhuan. She was, after all, once a young lady. These servants' tasks, Su Xianhuan, doing them, seemed a bit unaccustomed. After his feet were wiped clean, Li Xian lay down on the bed. Not long after the lamp was extinguished, Su Xianhuan also groped her way onto the bed. Gently lifting the quilt, Su Xianhuan, wearing a doo-doo, slipped under the covers. She was like a docile kitten, her small head nestled in Li Xian's embrace. Her thighs, like an octopus, tightly entwined around Li Xian. With just an occasional touch, Li Xian couldn't help but feel a subtle, unusual sensation. The next moment, Su Xianhuan's eyes widened in disbelief. Recalling the night of their wedding, Su Xianhuan couldn't help but feel a little anticipation. But as a woman, in such matters, it was impossible for her to initiate. However, good things always arrived as expected. Li Xian turned over, and one hand gently wrapped around her. With a single pull, the ties of her doo-doo came undone. They made love. After a passionate half-hour, looking at the sleeping Su Xianhuan in his arms, Li Xian once again entered the state of precepts. He went straight to the glorious envoy of light. Li Xian opened his mouth and asked, "That black energy I sense today, do you know what it is?" The source of reception is the origin of the power of reception within your human bodies. That black mist clearly sealed off the source of reception, which is why she is like ordinary people, unable to awaken her power of reception. Unable to become a beast tamer, the glorious envoy of light clearly knew something. Then do you know if this is innate, or acquired and man-made? It's clearly acquired and man-made. That mist has strong aggregative properties, using the power of reception and vital energy within the body as its substance, which is why it can remain sealed. Then do you know how to remove it? Li Xian quickly asked. This mist seems to have an aura very similar to that guy number 2. Very much so. If you can wake him up, perhaps it can be undone. Upon hearing this, Li Xian's eyes immediately lit up. He quickly stepped forward. Arriving before cell No. 2 of the yellow designation, he fixed his gaze upon it. Clearly written on it was, Shadow Ox Demon. He peered into the cell. A beast, standing 10 meters tall, a massive minotaur, as sturdy as mountain rock, lay motionless on the ground. The higher-ranked demonic beasts, the more energy required for their revival. 200-year-old maple forest grass could revive the 8th-ranked glorious light beast, achieving a 2% recovery rate. The 2nd-ranked shadow demonic ox would likely require at least 1,000-year-old items. Li Xian exited the beast's craving. Then he drifted into a heavy sleep. The next day, Li Xian rose exceptionally early and began to study that mid-grade beast record from the yellow collection. The content of the Gale chapter wasn't overly complex. It was divided into 2 parts, upper and lower. The upper part primarily focused on training basic leg strength, while the lower part taught how to circulate and apply force. As for how the legs combine with a soul beast for use, Li Xian, however, he directly skipped the basic leg training, and then began to learn the method of circulating and applying force. The leg training methods described were quite cumbersome, but Li Xian had a better method. That was weighted training. In ancient times, light body techniques involved traveling with weights. One day, upon shedding the heavy load, a single step would cover tens of meters. Su Xianhuan woke up on time and began to get dressed and made up. Xianhuan, are you ready? We're going to the market to buy some things to take to your father. Li Xian's voice came from outside the door. Li Xian had gone out early that morning. From inside the house, Su Xianhuan's voice replied, All right, outside. Li Xian moved like a snail, slowly plodding along. One could see that on his legs. He was currently wearing a pair of iron shoes. These iron shoes looked no different from ordinary ones on the outside, but their actual weight reached 10 jin. It turned out that these weighted training items were available in shops on the street. This saved Li Xian the trouble of having a pair specially made. Approximately an hour later, Su Xianhuan finally emerged from the house. Upon seeing Su Xianhuan's appearance, Li Xian's eyes immediately lit up. What a radiant beauty! Wife, you are truly beautiful. Li Xian did not stint on his praise. He walked over, lifted her chin, and gazed at her admiringly. With such praise, Su Xianhuan's heart swelled with sweetness. Her entire face was alight with a joyful expression. After settling the tavern's affairs, Li Xian then fetched a carriage and set off with Su Xianhuan. At this moment, the tavern's attendant, who was actually the tavern's manager, leaning against the main door of the tavern, watched the carriage slowly depart. "Brother Yong, have you found out clearly?" "Everything has been investigated clearly," the man standing by the door asked coldly. "Everything has been investigated clearly. He is indeed the unfavored eldest son of the Li family, a good-for-nothing for 10 years, who has yet to awaken his beast soul." The tavern. The attendant, a yellowish towel draped over his shoulder, said in a low voice, "Lingyun City is hundreds of li from Luyuan City. Guang'an County is on the outskirts of Luyuan City, and it's over 1,000 li from Lingyun City. For the dignified eldest son of the Li family to be assigned to this remote place, far from the emperor's reach, it seems he has truly been abandoned." The man known as Brother Yong was in charge of the brewing workshop. Previously, he had operated the entire tavern. Only when the Li family came to collect accounts each year, he would prepare some false accounts, and by dealing with things perfunctorily, he could earn a fortune. Now that the Li family had sent a direct manager, this had cut off Brother Yong's source of wealth. "Oh, right, Brother Yong," the attendant suddenly recalled. "After they left, I secretly found a way into their room and took a look. And then I discovered this." Before he could finish speaking, the attendant stretched out his hand. An ancient, unadorned ring appeared in his hand. At this moment, Brother Yong's pupils contracted. He slowly reached out and took it into his hand. Spirit ring, spirit ring. Is it the spirit ring that pre-sellers used to store things?" The waiter trembled in fright. "Is this shopkeeper a pre-seller?" No, that's impossible." Brother Yong shook his head, denying. If he really were a pre-seller, Li Jia wouldn't ignore it. "That's right." Brother Yong suddenly remembered something. Then he fumbled in his pocket. He pulled out a crumpled message. After opening it, a graphic message prominently appeared. "Genius of Lingyun City Falls. Li Xiao, the Li family's first disciple, met his end at dragon-gazing steel." Within this graphic message, a familiar ring pattern was clearly visible. Brother Yong looked at the message, then at the spirit ring in his hand. "This is Li Xiao's spirit ring. How could it be in his hands?" Brother Yong was deep in thought. The waiter suddenly interrupted him. "Brother Yong, they've left the city. Should we make our move?" "No need. I have a better idea." Brother Yong revealed a cold smile. Then he ordered, "Hurry! Deliver this ring to the Li family in Lingyun City. Just say it was found on Li Xian. It's exactly as described in the message." "Yes, Brother Yong." The waiter pulled off his yellowed rag, and then left the tavern. Yong'an County was a county under the jurisdiction of Luyuan City. The distance was also over 100 li. At the slow pace of the carriage, it would probably take 2 days to arrive. "By the way, what business does your Su family mainly do? What kind of people are your father and mother?" Along the way, Li Xian constantly inquired about Su Shimon's family situation, so he could handle things calmly when the time came. However, at this moment, Li Xian suddenly remembered something. Since the dragon-gazing steel incident, Su Shimon seemed to have never asked about his beast soul. She was, after all, the daughter of a third-rate family. It was impossible for her not to know about beast souls. And before joining the Li family, she must have known some things about him. That he was a good-for-nothing, unable to awaken beast power. Given this, why hadn't Su Zuanyuan asked? Out of curiosity, he instead questioned Su Zuanyuan. "Aren't you curious?" "Curious about what?" "Curious why I have a beast soul?" "Because I know what to ask and what not to ask." Su Shimon was sensible, so much so it made one's heart ache. She smiled sweetly. "My husband's beast soul. If everyone knew about it, would the Li family be where it is now? Since it's hidden, my husband naturally has his reasons. If I don't ask or inquire, and remain unaware in my heart, I won't disturb my husband, or harm him." Su Zuanyuan's words touched Li Xian's heartstrings. Inside the carriage, the two nestled together, holding each other tightly. The 2-day journey was neither fast nor slow. But when Li Xian arrived at Luyan City, he heard a piece of terrible news. All 120 members of the Su family had been slaughtered. He vaguely felt the atmosphere within the city was incredibly strange. Su Zuanyuan held Li Xian's hand tightly. "Husband, did you hear what they're discussing outside?" "What? Aren't we almost there?" Li Xian's expression was a little off, because when he entered the city, he had indeed heard that all 120 members of the Su family had been massacred overnight. Who did it was unknown. When City Lord Liu Yuanqing personally led people to arrive, blood had already flowed like a river. Turning a corner, they arrived at the Su residence. At this moment, the entrance of the Su residence was heavily guarded. His heart skipped a beat as he lifted the curtain and looked. Why are the Li family members here too? Turning to look at Su Zuanyuan, Li Xian took a deep breath. He comforted her. No matter what happens in a moment, don't be afraid, okay? Su Zuanyuan seemed to have sensed something as well. She didn't respond. He just nodded meekly. After getting out of the car, the guard stationed at the entrance of the Su residence immediately rushed forward. Who are you? What happened? Why are you guarding our doorstep? Su Shenwan was a little flustered. What? She stepped forward, about to enter, when a voice commanded, Stop! The guards at the entrance held their weapons horizontally in front of them, blocking Su Shenwan. What are you doing? This is our home. What are you trying to do? Li Xian immediately rushed forward. He directly confronted the guards, who then roared. Just then, the Li family members who had been chatting with the guard captain in the distance also rushed over upon hearing the commotion. The Grand Elder had only just seen the Li family members, but he hadn't expected the person who arrived to be the Li family's Grand Elder. Li Xian seized him. With a single command from the Grand Elder, people came over to restrain Li Xian. Li Xian did not resist. He looked up and angrily asked, What are you doing? The Grand Elder let out a cold laugh, then slowly took out a ring. This ring was clearly Li Zhao's. It was already completely empty inside. Everything had been transferred by Li Xian to the storage ring in his own hand. Seeing this ring, Li Xian immediately frowned. Wasn't this kept in the tavern in Yong'an County? How could it be in his hands? Could it be? Li Xian suddenly understood. There were still Li family members monitoring him at the tavern. After he left, they found this ring. This is your younger brother Li Zhao's ring. How do you explain this? The Grand Elder asked sternly. Explain my ass. I found this at the dragon-gazing stele, and I didn't even know whose it was. No matter the reason, the ring is in your hands. The death of your younger brother Li Xiao is inextricably linked to you. Bring me back to the Li family. Outing the family head will personally interrogate him. As he spoke, the Grand Elder ordered his people to prepare to take Li Xian away. Let go. Let go of me. Shenwan, what exactly happened at home? You let go of me. Let me go in and see. Li Xian roared. After hearing this, the Grand Elder couldn't help but look towards Su Shenwan. He then waved his hand, signaling them to release Li Xian. Li Xian and Su Shenwan nervously walked inside. And when they saw the corpses scattered haphazardly in the courtyard, Su Shenwan tremblingly called out, Father! Mother! After speaking, she rushed towards the main courtyard of the mansion. At this moment, in the main courtyard, City Lord Liu Yuancheng and a group of his subordinates were investigating the reason for the Liu family's tragic deaths. Father! Mother! She cried, seeing that they had already lost their breath. Her parents lay dead, their throats slit by a single sword. Shenwan embraced the bodies and began to wail in agony. After Li Xian saw this scene, he turned to face the Li family Grand Elder, his voice hoarsely roaring. Just based on one ring, you suspect me of being Li Zhao's murderer? You then killed Shenwan's entire family for revenge? Are you even human? As he spoke, Li Xian picked up a bench and charged forward. I'm just an ordinary person. Could I have killed Li Zhao? Over 100 lives of the Su family. May you all die a horrible death. Seeing Li Xian actually believing that the Li family had killed the Su family, the Grand Elder immediately let out a sneer of contempt. Just then, City Lord Liu Yuanqing walked over and stopped Li Xian. Jian, and by the way, Lingyun City, the Li family members just arrived this morning. As for the people who killed the Su family, according to our investigation, they should be from Great Zhou. People from Yingmei. Great Zhou? Yingmei? How did they get here? Great Zhou and Great Xia have been at war for years. How could their people enter Great Xia? And why would they kill members of an ordinary third-rate family? Li Xian said incredulously. Yingmei is an ancient assassination organization from the Tianyuan continent. They have been suppressed by various countries. 10 years ago, their old lair located in Great Zhou was also wiped out by the Great Zhou army. Now that Yingmei has reappeared in Great Xia, this indicates that Yingmei's new lair is very likely to have taken root in Great Xia. This matter must be reported to the Great Xia imperial family. The city lord sighed. Since you have returned, please arrange their funerals properly. My condolences. Please accept what has happened. After speaking, he took his people and left. All right, you come with us too, the Grand Elder commanded in an unquestionable tone. You, aren't you ashamed? Li Xian turned around and started cursing at the Grand Elder. Are over 100 lives just to be left here unaddressed? The Grand Elder, a man of several decades, was so red-faced from Li Xian pointing at his nose and scolding him. Daring to insult a family elder. You are seeking death. The Grand Elder raised his hand, about to discipline Li Xian. Just at this moment, City Lord Lu Yuancheng suddenly turned back and said, Elder, since the Su family is also related to you by marriage, please lend a hand. They are relatives by marriage after all. If we ignore them completely, won't people laugh at us? He glanced at Li Xian, and the Grand Elder also felt that he was just an ordinary person, unable to cause any major trouble. So he agreed. The Su family had been innocent for 100 years, but only Li Xian and Su Shenwan wore mourning clothes for them. Su Shenwan and Li Xian checked the situation in the house. All the family's assets were still intact. This vast family fortune, if left to Su Shenwan alone, a young girl like her simply couldn't protect it. Furthermore, Li Xian, as her husband, and a member of the Li family of Lingyun City, it was no surprise that the Su family's properties would eventually fall into the Li family's hands. Li Xian saw the problem. That night, he told Su Shenwan to sell the family assets, preparing to flee back to Lingyun City. Wouldn't that be walking to their deaths? Li Xiao was indeed killed by Li Xian. After returning, a slight investigation would make it difficult for Li Xian to clear his name. And the Li family had many experts. Some might even see at a glance that Li Xian had already gained power and became a presale master. At that time, he would surely die. Yong'an County couldn't be returned to either. However, with the Su family's vast fortune in hand, where in the world couldn't they go? Once Xiaoya Yinglang fully recovered, and Li Xian became a gold presale master, the Li family would no longer be a threat. Shenwan, since this revenge was carried out by Yin Wei, but don't worry, I will definitely help you avenge this hatred in the future. In the middle of the night, Li Xian was comforting Su Shenwan in the room. At this moment, Su Shenwan had already recovered from her grief, and her emotions had stabilized. The Li family already suspects me. They are bound to take me back. But I was the one who killed him in the first place, so I cannot go back with them. Moreover, the Su and Li families are relatives by marriage. This vast family fortune will surely fall into the Li family's hands in the future. I told you to sell the family assets. The purpose is to escape Lu Yuanqing. You and I, as husband and wife, can roam freely to the ends of the earth. As a wife, I follow my husband wherever he goes. Since I married my husband, whether in life or death, I will follow my husband. Wherever my husband goes, Shenwan will go. Su Shenwan, without a family pillar, Li Xian naturally became her spiritual pillar. All right, you rest well. We will leave here at dawn. The Grand Elder is a presale master of the gold rank. His strength should not be underestimated. But it wasn't the Grand Elder guarding the door, but other guards from the Li family. Among these guards, there were only 2 silver presale masters. If Li Xian were alone, he could naturally escape with ease. But taking Su Shenwan along would make it difficult. By the way, Shenwan, the Su family's foundation is quite good. I found many century-old medicinal herbs through you. Can you give me some? The Su family's assets were actually all in Su Shenwan's hands, within her primal realm. Li Xian had not yet asked for them, but at that time, Su Shenwan wanted to give everything to Li Xian. But Li Xian refused, saying, Your family has just passed away. You should still hold on to this vast foundation. You and I have just gotten married. I'm afraid you might be worried. If it were in my hands, and if I were to just leave, what if I ignored you completely? So, it's safer for this money to be in your hands. Li Xian's words deeply touched Su Shenwan. Now that Li Xian had asked about some medicinal herbs, Su Shenwan didn't hesitate, and gave them all to Li Xian. 800-year Julin, 500-year Thunderwood Flower, 300-year Chiang, and several other herbs of 100 or 200 years. Staring at so many treasures, Li Xian licked his lips. He knew that if he gave all these things to the efficacious silver pouch, how much strength could he recover? But Li Xian still rejected this idea. The most urgent task was to revive the Shadow Ox demon, to let him examine Su Shenwan's internal condition. After nightfall, Li Xian sat upright by the window and did not go to bed. After Su Shenwan fell asleep, Li Xian also entered his prison realm. Holding the medicinal herbs, Li Xian hurriedly arrived before the Shadow Ox Demon's prison cell. The 800-year Julin herb was converted into pure energy and drilled into the Shadow Ox Demon's body. Li Xian nervously stared at the Shadow Ox Demon. But just then, the radiant envoy suddenly said, "It's just an 800-year-old medicinal herb. It's not enough to revive that big guy." What? Hurry. Put in more effort. It doesn't matter if it's a bit younger." After hearing the radiant envoy's suggestion, Li Xian quickly threw in the 500-year Thunderwood flower as well. In the next moment, the huge ox-headed man, covered in black fur, let out a muffled groan. His aura surged like a wild wind within the prison cell, extremely foul-smelling, blowing onto Li Xian and lifting a corner of his clothes, causing Li Xian to frown slightly. Li Xian seemed to feel the entire yellow character prison cell trembled. In the darkness, a pair of blood-red eyes slowly turned towards Li Xian. The next moment, the 10-meter-tall giant ox-headed man slowly walked out of the darkness. "Why am I still in this realm of imprisonment?" The Shadow Ox Demon let out a deafening sound, a sound like a great bell tolling. Upon seeing Li Xian, it lowered its head and raised its horns, and fiercely charged towards Li Xian. Seeing this, Li Xian hastily retreated backward, until he reached the front of the opposite prison cell. Only then did he stop. Boom! The huge horns struck the prison cell. The entire yellow character prison cell shook 3 times. This big fool! Still so arrogant in front of the master! "Master! Kill him!" The radiant envoy, enjoying the spectacle, egged him on. As for Li Xian, this fellow had just awakened. His emotions were very unstable. If he wasn't taught a lesson, he probably wouldn't calm down. "Shadow Ox Demon! I can revive you. I can certainly destroy you. If you don't calm down again, don't blame me for being impolite to you." Li Xian pointed at the Shadow Ox Demon and roared angrily. At the same time, a wave of imposing pressure swept towards the Shadow Ox Demon. The powerful pressure made the Shadow Ox Demon gradually calm down. "Prison Master! Are you the new Prison Master?" "That's right. If you don't want to die, then obey me obediently." Li Xian nodded. The demeanor of a prison master was perfectly displayed. Although the Shadow Ox Demon was powerful, but within the prison, it was still very much afraid of the prison master's existence. "Shadow Ox Demon submits to Master. As long as Master can let me out, I will do whatever Master tells me to do." "Very good. I'm very satisfied with the Shadow Ox Demon's attitude." Li Xian then explained Su Shenwan's physical condition to the Shadow Ox Demon. "The black mist is similar to my attributes." In the human cultivation realm, the Shadow Ox Demon, taking what Li Xian said, focused on the main point of his words. "Could it be the art of demonic obstruction?" "The art of demonic obstruction. What is that?" Li Xian was startled immediately. He quickly asked. Clearly, the Shadow Ox Demon should recognize those dark and evil things. In ancient times, when humanity had just risen, the demon beasts of the Shadow Clan and humans fought incessantly. But humans were very clever. Based on the abilities of our Shadow Demonic Clan, they mastered a lot of shadow energy themselves. The art of demonic obstruction was one such ability. The art of demonic obstruction can seal away a human's aura, preventing demon beasts from sensing it. Its method of execution is to mobilize shadow energy, and can seal off the location of the beast soul practitioner, preventing others from prying into its mysteries. But gradually, humans who mastered the art of shadow gradually lost their true nature. Later, they fed on human brains, absorbing memories, all for the sake of finding their true selves again. But the more they did this, the more evil they became. Even those of our Shadow Demonic Clan had to give them a wide berth. So, was this art cast with the help of others, or? Li Xian's expression gradually grew solemn. If it was truly as the Shadow Ox Demon said, that this was just a mere illusion, then who exactly hid Su Xianwan's aura? Of course not. The art of demonic obstruction can only be cast by oneself. Because sealing off the location of the beast soul practitioner is extremely dangerous, it can only be cast by oneself. Upon hearing this, Li Xian was greatly startled. If it truly must be cast by oneself, then the art of demonic obstruction on Su Xianwan's body was also cast by herself? That's impossible. No, this won't do. I'm going out now. You personally help me see if it's the art of demonic obstruction. After speaking, Li Xian left the beast prison. Su Xianwan was sound asleep on the bed. Li Xian silently circulated his power, then summoned his beast soul. The next moment, the phantom of the shadow ox demon appeared behind Li Xian. It was merely a fleeting glimpse, and Li Xian retracted his beast soul. And at this very moment, Su Xianwan's eyelids twitched slightly. But Li Xian didn't notice it at all. Because there were people guarding outside, so Li Xian had the shadow ox demon take a look, and then had it retract. He immediately returned to the beast prison. Li Xian came to cell number 2. It is indeed the art of demonic obstruction. I am very clear about shadow energy. The black mist sealed within that little girl's core being is shadow energy. Its concentrated, unscattering state is the art of demonic obstruction. It must have been cast by that girl herself, wanting others to see her true strength. Coming before the shadow ox demon, before Li Xian could even speak, the shadow ox demon patted its chest and guaranteed Li Xian, saying, Li Xian remained silent and nodded. Afterwards, Li Xian came before Xiao Yuinglang. He took out all the remaining precious medicinal herbs. Li Xian transformed them into pure energy and gave it all to Xiao Yuinglang. The pure energy restored Xiao Yuinglang's strength. In the blink of an eye, the recovery rate reached 1010%. This was equivalent to the strength of a 1000-year level beast soul. Li Xian summoning the silver moon wolf was summoning a 1000-year beast soul. Of course, the silver moon wolf, being an ancient demon beast itself, the strength it unleashed definitely far surpassed that of an ordinary 1000-year beast soul. After completing all of this, Li Xian once again left the beast prison. In a room lit by a single candlelight, Li Xian slowly opened his eyes. Looking back at the sleeping Su Xianwan, a hint of wariness arose in Li Xian's heart towards Su Xianwan, a sense of caution. Why did she cast the art of demonic obstruction? How could she know the art of demonic obstruction? What was she hiding? The art of demonic obstruction uses shadow energy. It is an ability of the shadow demonic clan. How could Su Xianwan possess it? Wait, Li Xian suddenly thought of something. The ancient assassination organization, Shadow Sister, was also a branch of the shadow demonic clan. He suddenly turned his head. Li Xian looked at Su Xianwan, who was motionless on the bed. His entire body instantly tensed up. Could it be? A crazy thought appeared in Li Xian's mind. How could this be? How could he kill his parents? Over 100 lives, all his dearest ones. How could he possibly do that? And even if so, what would be the reason? Countless crazy thoughts rapidly spun in Li Xian's mind. After a long while, Li Xian gradually calmed these wild thoughts in his mind. But no matter what, first, she had no intention of harming me. With this as a foundation, Li Xian felt slightly relieved. At this moment, Su Xianwan, lying on the bed, slightly opened her eyes. In those half-closed eyes, a cold glint flashed and disappeared. At dawn, Li Xian gently woke Su Xianwan. Wife. Su Xianwan slowly opened her hazy, sleepy eyes. Husband, are we leaving? Get ready. We're leaving immediately. Li Xian looked outside the door. The guards outside the door were already asleep, leaning against the wall. Dawn is when people are in a state of deep sleep. Leaving at this time is when it's least likely to be discovered. They were asleep leaning against the doorframe. Leaving through the main door was impossible. Li Xian gently opened the window. Then he took off the iron shoes on his legs and put them into the beast realm. Li Xian, barefoot like this, then carrying Su Xianwan on his back, silently climbed out. Walking barefoot made no sound at all. Last night, he and Su Xianwan had already found an escape route. The Su residence had a back door. Once out the door, they could quickly leave. But when Li Xian, carrying Su Xianwan on his back, arrived at the back door, he saw that the back door was also guarded. Husband, this way, Su Xianwan whispered in his ear. Then she pointed to a small path leading to the backyard. Li Xian followed the path in and arrived at a secluded courtyard. The courtyard was enclosed. Climbing over the wall from here wouldn't be discovered by anyone. Looking at the nearly 2-meter-high wall, Li Xian circulated the power within his body, flowing it into his legs. The gale step was activated and released. He shot forward almost 3 meters, reaching the wall in one swift movement. With a leap, he directly jumped over the 2-meter-high wall. Outside the wall was a narrow alley. Li Xian continued to carry Su Xianwan on his back, and then quickly left the city. At this moment, within the city lord's mansion, the city lord of Luyan City listened to his subordinate's report. He slightly opened his eyes. Are they gone? Yes, city lord, they are gone. A mysterious man in black combat attire knelt on the ground and said in a deep voice, Follow them. Kill the Li family members. Bring Su Shanwan back to me. The mysterious man nodded firmly. But city lord, are you really sure Su Shanwan is a Yin Mei being? We had just traced it to the Su family, and the Su family was wiped out. Isn't that suspicious? The city lord said confidently. Moreover, this Su Shanwan, 10 years ago, was diagnosed with a critical illness, yet she stubbornly fought her way to the present. I suspect this Su Shanwan is definitely not the Su Shanwan from before. It is said that the ancient Yin Mei devours human memories. They possess powerful thoughts and abilities that surpass ours. If I can obtain their abilities, then the entire Great Xia will not escape my control. The city lord is mighty. Your subordinate will go and capture this Yin Mei now. At this moment, Li Xian, carrying Su Shanwan on his back, was frantically running outside Luyuan City. Last night, Li Xian already had a destination in mind. This time, upon leaving, he would head directly for the great continent. Regardless of ancient or modern times, leaving this territory is the best way to escape danger. But to cross the battle lines and reach the great continent, this was not an easy matter. But Li Xian believed with money, one could make ghosts push millstones. Surely there would be a way once they reached the front line. Because it was rumored on the front line, there were people specifically helping others to smuggle across. Some people who had committed crimes in cities or continents wanted to escape local legal sanctions, so they would go to other countries. And these people who helped with smuggling emerged as a result. The sky began to turn fishbelly white. The strength in Li Xian's body was rapidly depleting. He ran with all his might, like a strong wind. Li Xian ran for over 100 li in one breath, before finally stopping. Meanwhile, in Luyan City, the Li family's grand elder arrived at Li Xian's place early in the morning, outside his door, because today was the final deadline. By today, Li Xian had to return with him. Dong dong dong. The grand elder had someone knock on the door, but the door was locked from the inside, and there was no movement. After 3 knocks, the grand elder frowned. The next moment, the grand elder stepped forward and kicked open the door. Upon seeing that no one was inside, the grand elder was instantly shocked. On the other side, Li Xian didn't take the main road but a small path. Yet even so, he still heard a series of hoofbeats coming from behind him. Damn it! They caught up so quickly. Li Xian was greatly alarmed, and quickly took Su Shanwan into the dense forest nearby. Dozens of people dressed in black combat attire, wearing headscarves and covering their mouths and noses, arrived here. When they reached the spot where Li Xian and Su Shanwan had hidden in the woods, they surprisingly stopped. In this vicinity, Li Xian, hidden in the woods, was greatly alarmed. What the hell? Can they even find us? One person here looked around, and immediately spotted Li Xian and Su Shanwan. They are not from the Li family, Su Shanwan whispered into his ear from behind. Hearing this, Li Xian looked intently, and indeed found that they were not the Li family's grand elders people. These people were extremely well-trained. Their movements were swift and agile. One look and you could tell they were skilled fighters. After seeing Li Xian and Su Shanwan hidden in the woods, the leader said nothing, dismounted, and immediately ordered, "Attack!" After speaking, dozens of people drew their weapons and surrounded the dense forest. Brave sirs, spare our lives. We have money, we can give you money. We only ask that you let us go. Isn't going out to make a living all about seeking wealth? Harmony brings wealth. We'll give you money. Will you let us go? However, regarding Li Xian's words, the other party didn't take them to heart at all. Li Xian's gaze lingered on these people. Realizing their objective was very clear, they were coming for him. However, Li Xian noticed their gaze was never on him from beginning to end, but on Su Shanwan behind him. Thinking of his suspicions about Su Shanwan last night, Li Xian also began to suspect these people were probably coming for Su Shanwan. With a command, these people rushed forward without hesitation. Li Xian quickly put down Su Shanwan, then watched these people warily. The highest among these people were Silver Jade Beastmasters. 3 Silver Jade Beastmasters, the rest were Bronze Jade Beastmasters, not worth mentioning. It was early in the morning, still in the wilderness, far from the main road, so Li Xian had no scruples. Li Xian looked at these people coldly. Li Xian said in a deep voice, "Since there's no room for negotiation, then don't blame me for being impolite." After his words fell, the power within Li Xian's body circulated. The howling moon silver wolf was summoned, transforming into a white phantom that appeared behind Li Xian. A woo! The wolf's howl echoed for 10 li around. The dozens of would-be rushing beast masters all stopped abruptly, looking up at Li Xian in disbelief, behind whom was a 7 to 8 meter long, enormous pure white giant wolf. At this moment, it was using a pair of sinister eyes to stare at each and every one of them. Feeling the powerful subtle pressure emanating from the laughing moon silver wolf, the 3 silver jade beast masters leading them immediately said in horror, 1,000 years, 1,000-year beast soul. Isn't he the Li family's waste? Aren't you just an ordinary person? How are you also a beast master and possess a 1,000-year beast soul? Everyone was terrified, but there were also calm individuals. Don't be afraid, everyone. A 1,000-year beast soul is indeed powerful. But look, he's only a black iron beast master. His compatibility with the beast soul isn't high at all, so he can't unleash its full power. Let's attack together and kill him. After his words fell, everyone reacted one after another. Accompanied by bursts of beast roars, these people successively summoned their beast souls. The size of these beast souls in front of the laughing moon silver wolf was simply like eagles facing chicks. The bronze jade beast master perfectly unleashed the beast soul's power. 100% compatibility. Li Xian synchronized with the laughing moon silver wolf. Its massive claws lunged forward, opening its gaping maw and tearing apart the beast souls of 2 people, then mercilessly swallowing them whole. Perfect compatibility. One bronze jade beast master, seeing this, shouted in terror. But the next moment, just as they were preparing to attack together, accompanied by a gesture from Li Xian, the laughing moon silver wolf leaped, directly darting out from behind Li Xian. Those people turned pale with fright, frantically turned and fled. At the same time, they shouted, "Bestow soul ritual body. Silver jade beast masters, the plan has changed. Retreat quickly." Dozens of people hastily fled, but in front of Li Xian's laughing moon silver wolf, they were utterly vulnerable. However, at this moment, while Li Xian was fully focused on dealing with these people, the nearby Su Xianwan quietly approached one of the corpses. Su Xianwan's mouth slightly opened, and from the head of that corpse, a wisp of white smoke floated out, then drilled into Su Xianwan's mouth, and was swallowed into her belly. After dealing with these people, Li Xian retrieved his beast soul, then returned to Su Xianwan's side. "Xianwan, are you all right?" "Husband, I'm fine." Su Xianwan smiled sweetly, revealing a trace of a smile. "It seems after what happened last time, your mental fortitude has also grown stronger," Li Xian said with a relieved smile. "I have to become stronger, so I won't be a burden to husband, right?" Su Xianwan tilted her head and said playfully and cutely. Seeing this scene, Li Xian couldn't help but be captivated. At the same time, he thought, if you have no intention to harm others, then what does it matter if you have a secret in your heart? Afterwards, Li Xian came before these people and began to search them. "Husband, I'll help you." Su Xianwan followed behind Li Xian and began to search these people. But with Li Xian in front and Su Xianwan behind, Li Xian didn't see at all that whenever Su Xianwan passed by a person, a wisp of white smoke would fly out as she slightly opened her mouth and be swallowed into Su Xianwan's belly. After a round of searching, Li Xian found 6 or 7 spirit rings on them. Spirit rings are precious. Not everyone can afford to use them. Among dozens of people, 6 or 7 wearing spirit rings is understandable. This place is not suitable for long stays. Let's leave quickly, and then we can see what treasures are inside. After speaking, Li Xian rode their horses and left the place with Su Xianwan. Not long after Li Xian and Su Xianwan left, dozens of black-clad figures arrived here. The one leading them, mounted on a tall, dark red horse, was extremely imposing. After seeing the corpses by the roadside, he immediately dismounted and began to inspect them. "Lord City Lord, it was a beast master who did this. Their spirit rings are all gone." After one person checked, they came before this person and reported. This person remained silent. After examining a corpse for a moment, they took a deep breath and slowly said, "Transforming essence into chi. This shadow spirit is of no low rank. Transforming essence into chi? City Lord, what does that mean?" Ingmei transmitted words from ancient joyous people, annoyed by acquiring memories. But advanced shadow spirits can, without opening a furnace, acquire the target's memories. Clearly, the rank of this shadow spirit is not that of an ordinary shadow spirit. At this point, the city lord slowly stood up. But this is even better. If I can devour this shadow spirit, then I can acquire all of its abilities and memories. This is far more formidable than an ordinary shadow spirit. But looking at the tragic scene, the city lord frowned again. 3 silver beast tamers died here. This shows that this shadow spirit is extremely powerful. We cannot confront it head-on. After a slight contemplation, the city lord smiled. Isn't the Li family's eldest son with him? If nothing unexpected happened, the Li family's eldest son should have already been controlled by this shadow spirit. It seems Su Xiaman leaving the Li family was probably also to find a better hidden place. Immediately inform the Li family about what happened here. Let the Li family find them first, and then we will make our move. Yes, city lord. He immediately rushed back. But before he could return to Luyuan City, he encountered the Li family's grand elder halfway. Elder Li, you've come at just the right time. Your Li family's eldest son has escaped. I sent people to chase him all night, but couldn't catch him. He's just an ordinary person. City lord, how could you not catch him? Elder Li asked in disbelief. Things are not as you imagine. The city lord pondered briefly, then said, he was playing the pig to eat the tiger. He is a beast tamer. Otherwise, how could he have killed your family's genius beast tamer, Li Xiao? Hearing this, Elder Li flew into a rage. Indeed, this fellow, he immediately reported to the family head. However, what City Lord Lu Yuancheng didn't expect was that Elder Li of the Li family led his people back. He didn't send someone to notify the Li family first and then go chase them himself, but instead, they all went back together. Elder Li, aren't you going to chase them? The City Lord asked, looking bewildered. Chase what chase? Who knows where he ran off to? Elder Li said with an indifferent attitude. It's nothing important. We'll be taking our leave now. The city lord of Luyuan racked his brains but couldn't figure out why. But for Elder Li, he only needed a result to report back with, and that was enough. Li Xiao was the family head's son. If nothing unexpected happened, the future of the Li family would be in his hands. But now he had been killed. So, the successor to the Li family would need to be reevaluated. As the Grand Elder's grandson, this year he had even awakened the show power to the 3rd stage. He was the foremost person after Li Xiao. Although he was nearly 6 years old, with proper nurturing, his future was promising. Would Elder Li be so foolish as to go capture Li Xian and bring him back? Both of them were, after all, the family head's sons. One of the two had already died, and the other one was no longer a waste. Even if the family head was angry, he couldn't possibly kill his own son with his own hands. Moreover, Li Xian had already become a beast tamer. What if the family head were to appoint another successor? Wouldn't that be the end of it all? So now, he only needed to go back himself and exaggerate Li Xian's misdeeds 10-fold, 100-fold, describing them with extreme exaggeration, to make the family head abandon this son of his. Then his own grandson might have a chance to rise to power. Meanwhile, Li Xian, taking Su Xiaman, had already arrived in another city. This world had no internet, no telephones. Separated by hundreds of miles, Li Xian and Su Xiaman arriving here had no fear of being recognized. Wife, let's rest here for a day before we set off again. Now Li Xian was truly exhausted. After checking into the inn, I had someone draw a bath and took a nice long soak. I hadn't rested well at all these past few days. Li Xian and Su Xiaman went to sleep early. The sound of the night watchman could be heard from outside before I knew it. It was already the 3rd watch in the middle of the night. Su Xiaman suddenly opened her eyes in the pitch-black room. In Su Xiaman's eyes, a faint green light flickered. She slowly sat up. Su Xiaman looked at Li Xian, who was sleeping soundly beside her. She slightly parted her lips. A wisp of white smoke flew out of her mouth then, along with Li Xian's breath. It was inhaled into his body. After doing all this, Su Xiaman put on her clothes and walked outside in the room where it was too dark to see one's hand, only a pair of eerie green eyes. Su Xiaman's pair of light green eyes seemed to be able to see through the darkness. Any obstacles in the room could be easily avoided. She gently opened the window. Su Xiaman then floated out lightly in a building not far from the inn. The window was open. The inside was pitch black. Su Xiaman then floated in silently. The pitch black room seemed empty, but after Su Xiaman entered, a voice rang out as if from a ghost. Greetings, leader, Lord of Lian City, Great Tower Town. Moxiyin Zhao Sushiman, who floated and emitted a chilling voice, completely different from his usual demeanor, a shadow, faint and indistinct, in the pitch-black room trembled all over upon hearing Su Shiman's voice. He said in a deep, stern voice, "The Su family's affairs are not clean. Whoever did it, let them commit suicide. It is the fault of my subordinates." Strangely, there was more than one shadow in the room, but the next moment, as this person finished speaking, a flash of light streaked through the room immediately. A head fell to the ground. Upon hitting the ground, it turned into black smoke and disappeared. I thought he was just an ordinary person, and that I could continue to hide by using his identity. I didn't expect him to have secrets too. Su Shiman looked in the direction of the inn. A sinister smile appeared on her lips, if nothing unexpected happens. That smiling moon welcoming the groom should be an ancient demon beast, and the human-shaped angel who healed me, the bull-headed creature with a huge head exuding dark energy all over its body. They should all be ancient demon beasts according to your description. Combined with the information we have, the human-shaped angel should be an ancient evil radiant prosperity. The bull-headed creature containing dark energy should have been destroyed in ancient times. Shadow Bull Demon 3. Ancient demon beast soul beasts. My husband is indeed quite interesting. Su Shiman's charming eyes flickered, not knowing what she was thinking. If the 3 ancient soul beasts could be used by us, are you asking me to kill him? Su Shiman turned her body slightly. A flash of light appeared in her eyes. The shadow in the corner behind her immediately bowed down, her forehead touching the ground. Your subordinate dares not, however. He discovered the demonic art within me. He said he wanted to take me back to the Su family, but in reality, he just wanted to inquire about my condition. This shows that he still cares about me, but this matter cannot be kept secret. Therefore, the entire Su family must die, and that Shadow Bull demon might know about me, which means he also knows about me, but he doesn't express anything and doesn't ask what exactly is his intention. Could it be that he has truly fallen in love with me? Human beings and their laughable emotions, all unstable factors, are obstacles that hinder my grand plan of attracting maidens. After a sigh, Su Shiman ordered, "When the time is ripe, prepare to execute the attracting flowers and butterflies plan. I want all the myriad sects of Great Tower Town to come out to support the border at that time. I will attract maidens and devour their memories. Obtaining the secret messages of the myriad sects will be within reach." The room quietly returned to peace. Su Shiman floated out of the window like a ghost, and when she returned to the inn room again, she looked at the sleeping Li Xian. Then he silently and motionlessly lay down on the bed. The next day, Li Xian threw back the covers and comfortably stretched. "Ah, how comfortable! How did I sleep so soundly this time?" Su Xianwan, next to Li Xian, rubbed her sleepy eyes and slowly opened them. "Husband, did you sleep well last night? I've been tired for several days." Last night's sleep was truly sound. Looking at the expression on Li Xian's face, there was no sign of suspicion whatsoever. Su Xianwan, acting coquettishly, stretched out her arms. "Carry me up." "Why get up? The year's plan lies in spring. The day's plan lies in morning. Morning is suitable for exercise. Therefore, we should exercise more. Husband has the elegance to stretch his muscles and bones. Let's get up quickly." Saying this, Su Xianwan propped herself up with her arms, about to sit up. "Wife, you don't know the most. Effective exercise method and location. Is actually right here in bed," Li Xian said with a mischievous smile. Then he pressed his entire body onto Su Xianwan. "Moreover, this method of exercise lasts for half an hour at a time. It's quite enduring and effective, and requires no tools or assistance. There's actually such a miraculous exercise method in the world? Husband, quickly tell me about it. I've never heard of it before," Su Xianwan said, revealing curious yet innocent eyes. Li Xian looked at those pure, free-flowing, spring-like eyes. He couldn't see any other emotions in them. If only you truly didn't know the art of demonic possession, truly didn't know the condition of your own body, how wonderful that would be. If only you were just a common young lady of the Su family, an ordinary young mistress, how wonderful that would be. Looking at Su Xianwan, who was so close their lips were almost touching, Li Xian secretly thought, if it were truly like this, in this life, I would risk my life, to give you the greatest happiness and sense of security. But alas, why must you conceal it? Husband, what are you thinking about? You haven't answered me yet. Su Xianwan suddenly interrupted Li Xian's thoughts. "Oh, my method of exercise. Can train you until your legs are weak and powerless." And exceptionally excited, Su Xianwan's face gradually flushed with shyness. She seemed to have guessed something. Like a small bird leaning on its mate, she turned her head away, playfully hitting Li Xian's chest with her little fists. Husband, you're annoying. Husband is annoying, always bullying me. I'm telling you, in 2 more days, my moon flow will arrive. If it doesn't come, then I'll be having one. Having what? Li Xian was a little bewildered, not understanding what moon flow was. Oh, you're annoying. It means I'll be having a baby. Li Xian was instantly flustered, but then he suddenly realized the profound meaning. What's there to be afraid of? I'm already married. This is a normal process. It's not something shameful. He recalled how in the past, when his girlfriend said her period hadn't come, Li Xian would be scared half to death. Really? But it's fine. If we really have a child, I'll find a secluded paradise to settle down in and live a stable life for an entire lifetime. Su Xianwan's eyes were filled with longing and anticipation for such a life. Eyes do not deceive. They are the windows to a person's sincere emotions. At this moment, Li Xian suddenly started to forgive Su Xianwan's concealment. This line is a continuation of the previous one. If it's truly not something that harms others for personal gain, then us being like this is quite good. Li Xian thought this. Then he gently leaned down. 1 shurchen later, 2 hours, Li Xian, panting, rolled off. At the same time, a knock on the door suddenly sounded. Customer, your rental time is almost up. Would you like to extend your stay? No, prepare some lunch for us. We'll eat and then leave. All right, customer. The waiter gradually walked away. Li Xian and Su Xianwan began to get dressed. And just at this moment, Li Xian suddenly saw on Su Xianwan's chest a black mark resembling the sun. A tiny lack of careful observation would make it impossible to discover. I hadn't noticed it before. It was because every time he slept it was always done in the dark. So he couldn't see it. Today he had just woken up and suddenly noticed this small difference. But Li Xian did not open his mouth to ask. Instead, he remembered the appearance of this mark, intending to find an opportunity to investigate it. After getting dressed, the two washed up and went downstairs to prepare for a meal. This inn was of a decent size, 3 stories high. The first floor was where ordinary people ate and drank. The second floor was for people with a bit more status to eat and drink, and there were also private rooms. The third floor consisted of guest rooms. Arriving at a windowside table on the second floor, Li Xian and Su Xianwan sat down. The waiter had already placed the dishes on the table. They could eat as soon as they sat down. The service was quite good, but at this moment, Li Xian suddenly saw that there seemed to be many more people eating on the second floor. Moreover, many of them were wearing unified uniforms, seemingly belonging to some organization. Who are these people? Li Xian whispered, looking around curiously. They might be people from a large beast taming sect. Su Xianwan tilted her small head, propped her chin with her hand, and mused. Once, the Su family also had dealings with a beast taming sect. I once saw them, and they all wore unified attire just like these people. So it's them? Li Xian nodded thoughtfully, but then felt a little confused. I heard that beast taming sects generally don't get involved in worldly affairs. They focus on cultivation. How could they suddenly appear in the public eye? Why don't we listen to what they're saying? Then we'll know. Su Xianwan made a cute gesture of pricking up her ears. She listened silently. Huju Pass has fallen. The Great Zhou is exerting pressure on the border. And there are even bandits causing trouble amidst it all. It seems this mission is quite complex. Didn't you say the sect rewards have also become much more generous? Indeed. The reward for one mission is more than 10 times the usual. If we fight hard, 100 years of beast soul can manifest 1,000 years. But I heard that thousands of sects in the Great Xia for this situation have even formed a sect alliance. Is that true? As citizens of the Great Xia, with tribulations at hand, thousands of sects naturally need to unite. The formation of an alliance can also better command combat. Li Xian ate and listened, and thus figured out the situation. So it was that wars were raging, and even beast-taming sects had mobilized in these troubled times. Husband, don't you want to achieve something great? Su Xianwan asked, looking at Li Xian with anticipation. Heh. The Great Xia imperial family hasn't even stirred yet. How can it be called a chaotic era? Li Xian shook his head, rejecting the idea. Although the Great Zhou is causing trouble in the south now, The Great Xiang is also eyeing us covetously in the north. Even within the Great Xia, bandits run rampant. And those barbarians in the Great Xia's western regions can't hold back either. How can it not be called a chaotic era? Li Xian looked at Su Xianhuan with some surprise. Because Su Xianhuan's analysis of the current situation was perfectly logical. Leah, thinking that Su Xianhuan was hiding some secrets from him, Li Xian pretended not to know and asked, "Then if it were you, what would you do?" Su Xianhuan's eyes darted around, and she pondered. The shortcut would be to join the Great Xia imperial family, and then achieve great deeds. But that's very dangerous. Secondly, one could join those sections. But I heard that the requirements for joining a sect are very high. But I think it's better to go it alone. Go it alone? Li Xian was instantly speechless. You think too highly of me, don't you? Husband, in my eyes, you are the most formidable person, Su Xianhuan said proudly. What damn imperial family? What damn sex? None of them are as formidable as husband. Haha, you. Then what exactly makes me so formidable? Li Xian asked with a mischievous smile. But as the two chatted without restraint, several tables of people nearby all cast strange glances at them. Hey, you two scoundrels, what did you just say? If you've got guts, say it again. A person slammed the table and stood up, pointing at Li Xian and cursing him fiercely. Who are they? They are people from a beast-taming sect. Huang Zongyong, merchants and commoners. The status of sex is second only to the imperial family. This person not only despises sex, but even curses the imperial family. Isn't he looking for death? Li Xian also instantly felt that he was despicable. But after hearing the other party's words, his face instantly darkened. He slowly turned his head to look. Li Xian asked coldly, "What did you say?" I said, "You two scoundrels. How dare you look down on sex? And even insult the imperial family? I think you're really tired of living." Slap. Before this person could finish speaking, Li Xian activated his beast power and unleashed his swift wind steps. Before others could react, he went straight up and slapped that person. This person was directly stunned by Li Xian's blow. When he looked at Li Xian again, Li Xian was already sitting in his seat. "Damn it! You dare to hit me? Do you know who I am?" With a whoosh, 4 or 5 people at the same table immediately surrounded Li Xian and Su Xianhuan. Su Xianhuan, full of fear, immediately hid in Li Xian's arms. "Senior brother, I saw these two acting suspiciously. They might be spies sent by the Great Zhou. Indeed, daring to insult the imperial family, and insulting a major sect besides people from the Great Zhou. There would be no one else. Kill them." After the words fell, one of them reached out and grabbed at Li Xian. Beast power surged. This person's arm, lightly raised, was filled with power. And another person took the opportunity to grab at Su Xianhuan. Li Xian slammed the table and stood up. With one arm he held Su Xianhuan, and with the other he grabbed at the nearest attacker. At the same time, the moment Li Xian stood up, the phantom of the Laughing Moon Wolf appeared behind him. As Li Xian's right hand grabbed, the Laughing Moon Wolf's front paw also fiercely swiped. With a single slap from the huge Laughing Moon Wolf's paw, that person was directly sent flying. Boom! That person flew 5 or 6 meters, slammed into the wall, and after falling, smashed another table. "Damn it! You dare touch my wife? You're dead!" Li Xian gently shielded Su Xianhuan behind him, and then faced the remaining 4 people alone. Leaning against the window, Su Xianhuan watched the suddenly enraged Li Xian, an incredible look appearing in her eyes. That seemingly innocent and slightly fearful gaze also carried a hint of calmness. A person's eyes cannot simultaneously express so many emotions, but Su Xianhuan could, because she didn't know how many people's memories she had devoured. She could, based on the memories she had devoured, display any natural, unsuspecting expression, even in her eyes. Su Xianhuan hadn't expected that Li Xian would, without a second thought, start a fight with others because of her. That line, "You dare touch my wife? You're dead!" indeed moved Su Xianhuan slightly. But from Yingmei's perspective, this kind of pure, passionate display was merely an irrational expression of falling in love. Perhaps when the passion fades, he won't treat me like this anymore. Su Xianhuan, based on the multiple memories she had devoured, she predicted Li Xian's future attitude towards her, however. Su Shenwan saw Li Xian unexpectedly dare to go on a killing spree against the sect members. A plan to use Li Xian involuntarily began to form and quickly took shape in her mind. Thinking of the plan that was about to begin, Su Shenwan revealed a subtly sinister smile. Just at this moment, a sect member who had avoided Li Xian's attack suddenly noticed Su Shenwan. Su Shenwan also noticed this person at the same time, but Su Shenwan didn't pay attention. She deliberately let this person approach her. "You killed my sect members. I'll make you pay a blood debt with blood." After that person approached Su Shenwan, he was possessed by the fierce dog spirit of a descendant, burning with raging fire. It roared and frantically pounced towards Su Shenwan. Su Shenwan remained motionless, completely ignoring this person's attack. When the spirit beast attacked Su Shenwan, only then did he let out a miserable scream. "Ah, husband!" she wailed painfully. Su Shenwan crashed heavily into the wall. After Li Xian heard the commotion, he found that he had unexpectedly, while fighting, moved away from Su Shenwan. Looking at Su Shenwan, who had fallen to the ground and couldn't get up, Li Xian instantly went berserk. Xiaoya Yinglang howled and roared, opened its large mouth, and fiercely bit off the head of one huge white tiger beast soul. Then it indiscriminately swallowed it. Immediately after, Li Xian unleashed Jifeng Step. This was while the spirit beast was with him. The Gale Step performed simultaneously. In an instant, Li Xian arrived at Su Shenwan's side. After gently helping her up, Li Xian discovered that Su Shenwan had already fallen unconscious. "Xiaoya Yinglang, kill them all, leave no one alive." Xiaoya Yinglang, who had originally been manifested on Li Xian's body, suddenly darted out, and with a few bites, then tore the remaining sect disciples until their bodies were without complete skin. At this moment, the entire second floor of the inn was already empty. Seeing this, Li Xian put away his spirit beast, carried Su Shenwan, and left the inn. They were still inside the city, and Li Xian wasn't afraid, but taking Su Shenwan along would be a bit inconvenient. In case they attracted people from the city lord's mansion, that would be quite troublesome. After leaving the city, Li Xian ran wildly all the way. At a distance from that city, at a sloping, shrub-covered ridge 30 li away, he stopped. He immediately summoned glorious age Li Xian, and immediately began treating Su Shenwan. And just at this moment, in Li Xian's mind, the sound of the glorious age suddenly rang. "Lord of the prison, it's nothing more than a superficial wound. Not enough to cause unconsciousness, right? That little girl is hiding something from you." Li Xian's expression changed slightly, but he also didn't pay attention to the glorious envoy's voice. Li Xian knew Su Shenwan was suspicious, but up until now, Li Xian still didn't know Su Shenwan's true identity, or why she was lurking by his side. Li Xian needed to figure all of this out. Just at this moment, Su Shenwan let out a soft hum, and then slowly opened her eyes. "Husband, where is this place?" She looked around confusedly. Su Shenwan was suddenly startled, and hurriedly felt Li Xian's body up and down. "Husband, are you all right? Those sect members didn't hurt you, did they?" Looking at Su Shenwan's panicked concern for him, Li Xian sighed sadly inwardly. "If all of this is faked by you, then how sad I would be." To be honest, on their wedding day, Li Xian was moved when he saw Su Shenwan. She was a proper and graceful lady from a good family, gentle and refined, occasionally with a touch of playfulness. Being with her was comfortable and happy. Li Xian enjoyed the days he spent with Su Shenwan. Therefore, even if he now knew Su Shenwan was suspicious, hiding it from himself, he himself wasn't willing to delve deeper. "It's fine, we're already out of the city. I'm worried the city lord's manor people will pursue us. So we ran. And I don't know which sect those people belonged to, which beast-taming sect they were from. If they were from a top-tier beast-taming sect, then we'd be finished." Su Shenwan said worriedly. "I heard my father say that beast-taming sects abound throughout the great Xia dynasty. They are divided into 3 ranks, upper, middle, and lower. When they accept disciples, they have very strict requirements for the beast master's cultivation level. You need at least 3 segments of beast power to enter. And after entering, the sect will help you choose and capture suitable beast souls. Suitable beast souls can better unleash the unique beast skills of their sect." Li Xian gave a bitter laugh. "How do I feel like I'm not even as good as you? I don't understand anything about this. I only heard my father mention it occasionally," Su Shenwan explained. The two rested for a moment in this dilapidated Taoist temple, then prepared to set off again. Their next destination was Showang Ridge. Because Tiger Gathering Pass was under siege, that area was in chaos. Showang Ridge was a stronghold located behind Tiger Gathering Pass. Many sect members were gathering for discussions, all rushing towards Beast King Ridge. That place could be described as a battleground. The ancient demonic beasts in the beast prison needed energy to recover. Where could they collect more beast souls? But at this moment, a flurry of footsteps suddenly came from outside the Taoist temple. Li Xian immediately got up to check. After seeing the group of people approaching from a distance, his expression immediately changed. Li Xian never expected that they had just arrived, and those people were already hot on their heels. You hide behind the statue. After I kill these guys, we'll leave. Li Xian quickly turned around, hiding Su Shenwan behind the statue. When these people arrived outside the dilapidated Taoist temple, Li Xian walked straight out. It's him. A person dressed differently from the other sect disciples pointed at Li Xian and said, "There's also a woman inside the Taoist temple." It seemed this person was one of the onlookers earlier, and possibly from another sect. There were a total of 12 people in this group. Li Xian glanced at them, and surprisingly found a golden jade beast master among them. "It's you. You killed my Tiger Piety sect's disciples." The leading middle-aged man, who was the golden jade beast master Li Xian was wary of, said, "What Tiger Piety sect nonsense? They insulted my wife and me, and bullied us with their power. Were we supposed to just sit there and let them humiliate us?" Li Xian retorted, his face fearless. "You wantonly killed my Tiger Piety sect disciples. Seize him and bring him back to the sect for interrogation." The next moment, with a whoosh, 10 people swarmed forward and surrounded Li Xian. Sect disciples were indeed difficult to deal with. Li Xian had experienced this firsthand just now. The main reason was that these guys mastered various beast skills. Beast skills could skillfully and very powerfully unleash beast power. This made Li Xian feel a bit strained all of a sudden. If only I could master more beast skills, Li Xian thought to himself. The 10 people surrounded him. Only the golden jade beast master watched coldly from the side. Li Xian licked his lips, revealing a greedy smile. "Excellent. If I devour you all, the recovery rate of Laughing Moon Wolf should reach 20%, right? Come out, Laughing Moon Wolf." As a wolf howl echoed, a giant white wolf, 7 to 8 meters long, appeared before everyone. The 10 people all recoiled, staring at the scene in disbelief. What kind of beast soul is this? How is it so big? Could this be a frost-sealing wolf? But that's not right. A frost-sealing wolf isn't this big, and the aura it emits isn't a frost aura either. Shushuran pointed at the giant smiling moon welcoming wolf, forgetting to attack for a moment. Seeing this, Li Xian sneered. The next moment his arms waved. The wolf claws moved in sync. In an instant, 2 heads fell to the ground. The Gale department summoned their beast souls and used soul skills. Soul skills are unleashed by beast souls. Their power was 10 times greater than when Li Xian released them himself. The huge body of the smiling, leaping silver wolf did not affect its speed at all. Instead, under the rapid running speed of the Gale department. But Shushuran only felt a blur before his eyes. When he reacted, he had already fallen to the ground, unable to get up. That gold-tier beastmaster was the first to react. Accompanied by the sound of a fierce roar, a phantom of a battle tiger appeared behind this person. The next moment, this phantom battle tiger gradually solidified. Finally, it merged back into the person's body. But the beast's soul did not disappear. Instead, it merged with him into one entity. This was the exclusive ability of a gold-tier beastmaster. Original beast fusion. A beastmaster who has fused with their beast soul can perfectly unleash the power of the beast soul. The power of the unleashed beast skill was hundreds of times stronger than usual. Li Xian struck like thunder, reaped the lives of more than 10 people. At the scene, only this one gold-tier beastmaster was left. This gold-tier beastmaster's eyes were filled with shock. He looked around. His sect disciples were all killed in an instant. Even if he had personally intervened, he wouldn't have been able to, in such a short time, kill so many people. Who exactly is this person? My Tiger filial sect. When did we offend such an expert? The gold-tier beastmaster thought with a solemn expression. Hey, just at this moment, to the gold-tier beastmaster's front right, Li Xian's voice suddenly rang out. Looking in that direction, Li Xian looked at this person with a wicked charm. But just at this moment, the gold-tier Beastmaster suddenly felt movement behind him. There was no time to turn around. Years of combat experience told him to dodge without any hesitation. Without a word, this person, he who had fused with the battle tiger beast soul, was filled with powerful strength. With a single leap, he jumped 3 meters away. The next moment, the giant smiling moon welcoming wolf pounced from behind. But it pounced on empty air. Li Xian saw this scene, couldn't help but feel a pang of regret. This move, feint to the east, attack the west, Li Xian had just comprehended. But the opponent's combat experience was simply too rich. It failed on its first use. However, that person was also secretly alarmed. Just one more moment, and he would have been hit. Besides being shocked, it also enraged this person. Boom! Boom! The gold-tier Beastmaster's legs, filled with explosive power, stomped hard on the ground. Accompanied by a furious roar, the gold-tier Beastmaster, like a meteor, charged towards Li Xian. Battle Tiger Leaping Sword Skill. Battle Tiger Leaping Sword, the entire Tiger Roar sect. All of them subdued only Tiger-type beast souls. Only then could they uniformly use the same beast skills. This was the strength of the sect. Human-beast fusion reduced many weaknesses of Beastmasters. For example, after the beast soul left the body, the inherent danger to the Beastmaster. This gold-tier Beastmaster discovered Li Xian was a silver-tier Beastmaster. Naturally, he also knew the weaknesses of silver-tier Beastmasters. Silver-tier Beastmasters could let their beast souls fight independently, but they themselves lost their protection. So, as long as the Beastmaster himself was killed, the battle would collapse. Li Xian also encountered such a difficult opponent for the first time. Empty string continuation of line 87. Is this the power of a gold-tier Beastmaster? Before, Li Xian still thought his cheap father Li Zhan was also a gold-tier Beastmaster. With his current strength, he should be able to compete. Even if he couldn't win, he could easily escape. But after this battle, Li Xian had a new understanding of gold-tier Beastmaster's power. The smiling moon welcoming wolf returned. First stood still in place, unmoving. Unhurriedly let out a low growl. The next moment, in the distance, Xiaoyu Silver Wolf suddenly vanished from where it stood, and in the blink of an eye, returned to Li Xian's body. Boom! The Battle Tiger Leap Arrow's attack landed. Li Xian was blocked by Xiaoyu Silver Wolf's phantom, but at the same time, Li Xian was also sent flying dozens of meters. Li Xian was shocked as he felt the attack from just now. Just at this moment, Xiaoyu Silver Wolf suddenly said, "Lord Prison Master, you are not harmed. If you want to simply rely on my strength to defeat him, it will be somewhat difficult. The energy I just absorbed from those people has already brought my recovery rate to 19%. I only need a little more to reach 20%. At that time, I will be able to awaken the beast soul's innate soul mark." Innate soul mark? A thought flashed through Li Xian's mind. Although he didn't know what it was, he vaguely felt it was a very powerful ability. Only a little more is needed? Li Xian immediately found himself in a difficult situation. The medicinal herbs he had previously obtained from Su Xianwan were all used to revive the Shadow Ox demon. At this moment, he had none left on him, nothing that could be converted into energy. And just at this moment, Li Xian suddenly saw at the entrance of the Padaiguan, Su Xianwan was peeking around, cautiously looking out, watching his battle, a display of swift movements. Gale Force Art. Xiaoyu Silver Wolf, carrying Li Xian, instantly arrived at the entrance of the Padaiguan. "Xianwan, do you still have any treasures containing energy?" "No, I don't. All those medicinal herbs were given to you already." Su Xianwan didn't know what Li Xian wanted to do. She shook her head and said, "Sigh." Li Xian let out a sigh. But just at this moment, he saw the corpses of those people lying on the ground. Origin Ring. Li Xian noticed, lying on the hand of one of them, was an origin ring. Someone who can wear an origin ring must surely have many treasures, Li Xian thought to himself. So he instructed, "Xiaoyu Silver Wolf, you entangle that guy. I'll go get the origin ring." As his words fell, Xiaoyu Silver Wolf detached from his body and pounced towards the Golden Jade Beast Master. Li Xian immediately ran, not daring to waste a single second. But when he ran in front of that person, he couldn't take off the ring on their finger. "Damn it!" Li Xian cursed. He took out a knife and directly cut off the person's finger. The bloody finger was thrown to the ground. Li Xian ignored the blood on it, and then took off the ring. Huang Mang's power surged into the origin ring. The origin ring seal was instantly opened. The next moment, everything inside appeared in his mind. Feeling all the energy-emitting items within, Li Xian took out a stalk of medicinal herb of unknown age and unknown name. He immediately summoned back Xiaoyu Silver Wolf and told it to absorb quickly. As his words fell, he saw this medicinal herb transform into pure energy and enter Xiaoyu Silver Wolf's body. Watching it gradually climb, the recovery rate only moved one digit, 20%. Li Xian immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Just right. And this was only a 500-year-old medicinal herb. Xiaoyu Silver Wolf let out a sigh of wonder. The further along, the harder it is to recover, and the more energy is needed. And just at this moment, the Golden Jade Beast Master, seizing the advantage, again pressed his attack. But just at this moment, the phantom of Xiaoyu Silver Wolf, possessing Li Xian from behind, suddenly roared to the sky. Xiaoyu Silver Wolf's innate beast skill. Werewolf under the moon. As the roar ended, he saw the originally 7 to 8 meter long Xiaoyu Silver Wolf suddenly stand upright. Its front paws began to straighten downwards like a human. Its height of over 7 to 8 meters stood behind Li Xian, as if a giant protecting Li Xian. Li Xian could clearly and distinctly feel Xiaoyu Silver Wolf's strength had greatly increased. Through the soul transmission, Li Xian's power also increased simultaneously. Lord Master, you lack an attack skill. I will transmit some of my combat experience to you. In a moment, you can give free rein to your abilities. You can definitely unleash power no less than a golden pre. The power of the Beastmaster Xiaoyu Yinglang's voice came again. At the same time, Li Xian also received some of Xiaoyu Yinglang's past combat techniques. These were called techniques. Li Xian felt the content Xiaoyu Yinglang imparted, and couldn't help but widen his eyes. Was this the mad dog's tearing bite? Just go up and bite, scratch and tear, releasing the wildness to its fullest. However, with this kind of combat experience and method, one could unleash all of one's momentum and strength. Watching the Golden Beast Master charge over, Li Xian felt the power coming from the beast soul, and with claws gripped, he charged forth as well. In midair, the two met. Li Xian grabbed that guy and rolled away into the distance. At the same time, sharp wolf claws and sharp wolf fangs, upon seeing any part of this guy, began to tear wildly. Employing werewolf under the moon, the Xiaoyu Yinglang, capable of walking upright, as an ancient demonic beast, directly overwhelmed the opponent in terms of bloodline and strength. The bloodline suppression greatly reduced the opponent's strength. Coupled with the power of the Xiaoyu Yinglang's natal beast skill, under Li Xian's frantic attacks, he actually, mouthful by mouthful, forcibly swallowed the Golden Beast Master's Battle Tiger beast soul completely, replenishing his own energy. At this moment, Li Xian was covered in blood. Looking at the Golden Beast Master, who was like a puddle of mud, after removing his spatial ring, he then came before Su Xianwan. Xianwan, you're all right? Li Xian breathed a sigh of relief. Watching the structurally imbalanced movie, Li Xian couldn't bother to clean the filth from his body, and hurriedly urged Su Xianwan to leave this place. The beast power in his body was too depleted. Li Xian simply couldn't endure continuing to fight. If it weren't for Xiaoyu Yinglang's natal beast skill, he might have lost his life here today. After running for dozens of li without stopping, Li Xian collapsed from exhaustion. Husband! Husband! Su Xianwan continuously called out to Li Xian. But Li Xian's eyelids were fighting, and he simply couldn't hold on. The physical burden brought by the depletion of beast power, Li Xian could no longer endure, and directly fell unconscious. As Li Xian's body went limp, the worried expression on Su Xianwan's face immediately vanished. In its place was a greedy smile. Her pair of jade hands gently glided over the skin on Li Xian's face. My dear husband, I'm sorry. The powerful ancient demonic beast soul within you is a great temptation for me. Make a small sacrifice, and help your wife achieve her grand ambition. All right? Now was the perfect time to absorb Li Xian. However, at this very moment, a dark figure swooped down from the sky, landing directly in front of Su Xianwan. Seeing this, Su Xianwan flared up in anger. Who told you to come see me in broad daylight? The dark figure trembled all over, its body shaking slightly. It hurriedly explained, Lord Leader, Great Xia Zenmosi knows your identity. After speaking, it spat out a mouthful of black blood. but it didn't have time to wipe it away, and continued, "One of us was captured. His memories were devoured by Zenmosi's people, so they learned your identity. That damned Zenmosi." Su Xianhuan no longer pursued the matter of this person's sudden appearance. She gently placed Li Xian on a large stone. Su Xianhuan looked at Li Xian, then looked at the dark figure. "You can no longer use this body. 10 li to the south, there's currently a medium-grade beast-taming sect, the Tiger Roar Gate, with dozens of disciples' corpses. Go there and pick any body to use for now, then hide yourself. Don't show your face recently." "Yes," the person hurriedly replied. "But Lord Leader, what about you?" "Amir Zenmosi, as long as their chief, Xiang Wentian, doesn't personally intervene, what can anyone else do to me?" Su Xianhuan clasped her hands behind her back and said confidently, "Your subordinate takes leave." After speaking, the person leaped up and flew south. After this person left, Su Xianhuan came to Li Xian's side. "Absorbing your memories and energy, although I can obtain all your memories and abilities, you are still immature and cannot handle things alone. If you can rapidly grow to be used by me, perhaps you'll be enough to contend with the people of Zenmosi." Speaking of this, Su Xianhuan revealed a gentle smile. She gently caressed Li Xian's cheek. Su Xianhuan said tenderly, "My dear husband, you must grow quickly and properly protect your wife. Okay? Sleep well. When you wake up, your wife will give you an unexpected grand gift." The sky gradually darkened. By a bonfire, Li Xian's head rested on Su Xianhuan's lap. The warm flames nearby made Li Xian feel very warm. After an afternoon of recovery, Li Xian's body's self-healing ability allowed the beast power within him to gradually recover somewhat. Slowly, he opened his eyes. Li Xian smelled an alluring body fragrance. This familiar scent made Li Xian feel especially intimate. Seemingly sensing Li Xian's awakening, Su Xianhuan hurriedly called out softly, "Husband, you're finally awake." Under the glow of the bonfire, seeing Su Xianhuan's tearful eyes, Li Xian couldn't help but reach out and wipe away the tears from her eyes. "Why are you crying? Your husband here has a strong life force. It's just that the beast power depletion was too great, and I just slept for a bit. I was so scared when you didn't wake up," Su Xianhuan choked out. "It's so dark here. I finally managed to light a fire with great difficulty. I was so worried about you." As she spoke, Su Xianhuan threw herself into Li Xian's arms and sobbed. There, it's all right. Haven't I woken up?" Li Xian gently patted Su Xianhuan's back with one hand and stroked her beautiful hair with the other, comforting her. A moment later, Su Xianhuan sat up from Li Xian's embrace. "Don't be like that again in the future. If we can't win, we run. There's no need to stubbornly fight them to the end." All right. I'll listen to my wife completely." Looking at Su Xianhuan, who was pouting and had her hands on her hips, lecturing him, Li Xian repeatedly nodded with a forced smile. But then, Li Xian recalled the battle and couldn't help but sigh. It's just that I've mastered too few beast skills. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been so strenuous." "Beast skills? What are those?" Su Xianhuan asked curiously. "A type of attack skill used in conjunction with a beast soul to operate together." "Husband, do you want to look at these?" As she spoke, Su Xianhuan, with a bewildered expression, took out 3 books from the spatial ring in her hand. Li Xian curiously took them and examined them. At a glance, his eyes immediately lit up. This is a beast skill." The next moment, Li Xian looked up at Su Xianhuan in disbelief. "Where did you get these?" "Just before we came out, I found them in Father's room." "So these are beast skills?" Su Xianhuan asked thoughtfully. "Then, can these help you, husband?" "Wait, let me take a look." Beast skills are cultivated according to the type of beast soul a beast master possesses. A suitable beast soul combined with a suitable beast skill can unleash double the power. "Holy cow!" Li Xian exclaimed in surprise. "This is a profound grade middle-rank beast skill. Your family, a third-rate clan, would possess a profound grade middle-rank beast skill." Li Xian's expression was one of disbelief, but a slight thought flickered in Su Xianhuan's heart. "I really didn't expect that even an unranked profound grade beast skill would surprise you so much. Fortunately, I didn't take out an earth grade or higher beast skill, otherwise, I would have been suspected." Profound grade middle rank, titled 3 Kills. Li Xian was deeply drawn into this beast skill manual. A full 15 minutes passed before he snapped out of his immersion. Profound. Truly profound. This Wind Thunder 3 kills combined with Xiao Yu Ying Lang's Beast Soul can be maximized when unleashed. Coupled with the bloodline of the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, an ancient demonic beast, its power is boundless. Xianwan, you truly are my lucky star. Li Xian put down the beast skill. He hugged Su Xianwan's head and showered it with kisses. Oh, your slobber is annoying. Your drool. Su Xianwan giggled. But she couldn't break free no matter what. After releasing Su Xianwan, Li Xian picked up the second beast skill. But after opening the first page, he immediately let out another gasp of surprise. It was another Profound Tier beast skill. Profound Tier, low grade, Galloping Thunder Power Diagram. What a strange name. What is this used for? Li Xian curiously opened it and began to read. A moment later, in the wilderness, Li Xian let out a wolf-like howl. This is a beast skill used to restore power. Thinking of how he had fainted before due to power exhaustion, Li Xian immediately felt a wave of lingering fear. If the enemy had reinforcements, it would have been dangerous. At that time, falling into unconsciousness, if the enemy's reinforcements had arrived, he would have been completely done for. But this Profound Tier low-grade beast skill could effectively restore his power. Moreover, this differs from other ordinary power-restoring beast skills. It helps restore power during combat. That's why it's named Galloping Thunder. The more intensely you fight and circulate your power, the more power the Galloping Thunder power diagram restores. This is like refueling while flying a plane. The endurance is absolutely superb. After calming his excited mood, Li Xian hugged Su Xianwan and gave her another good nuzzle. Perhaps only this way could Li Xian express his joyful mood. Finally, Li Xian opened the last beast skill. The beast skill in his hand suddenly dropped to the ground. Earth Tier, low-grade beast skill. Even the Li family of Lingyun City doesn't have an Earth Tier beast skill. Your family, a third-rate clan, actually possesses an Earth Tier low-grade beast skill. Li Xian looked at Su Xia incredulously. One must know that the Li family Li Xian originally belonged to, as a prominent clan in Lingyun City, the highest beast skill the Li family possessed was only Profound Tier, high-grade. But Su Xianwan's family, a third-rate clan that needed to curry favor with the Li family, surprisingly possessed something that made the Li family extremely envious. An Earth Tier, low-grade beast skill. Is this very powerful? Seeing Li Xian's already doubtful expression, Su Xianwan revealed a bewildered and curious gaze. She tilted her head slightly and asked, "Of course it's powerful." Seeing Su Xianwan's expression, Li Xian knew she probably didn't know either. He guessed that the Su family also had a mysterious past. Or perhaps Su Xianwan's father had some unknown experiences. That's why they possess such a powerful Earth Tier beast skill. Thereupon, Li Xian opened this Earth Tier low-grade beast skill and began to read it. Earth Tier low-grade, 10,000 horses stampeding. He read through it word by word. After a long while, Li Xian took a deep breath and calmed his excited mood. The scope of application for this beast skill was very wide. Basically, some large wild beasts and beast souls of that type could all use it. After use, it could conjure many phantom beast souls, charging towards the enemy like 10,000 stampeding horses. Could inflict wide-ranging damage. However, if this beast skill were used by, for example, Rhino-type, Savage Ox-type, or Elephant-type beast souls with larger tonnage, its power would simply be unimaginable. If it were used by the Howling Moon Silver Wolf, it would be slightly less effective but still very powerful. After all, the Howling Moon Silver Wolf size is also very large. That's right. Li Xian suddenly thought of the Shadow Ox Demon. If this beast skill were used by the Shadow Ox Demon, then its power would simply be unimaginable. These three beast skills could be said to have completely compensated for Li Xian's current shortcomings. Li Xian let out a long sigh and looked towards Su Xianwan. At this moment, Li Xian's thoughts were myriad. And Su Xianwan clearly saw in Li Xian's eyes a strong sense of love and gratitude towards her. Their eyes met. The two slowly embraced. At this moment, Su Xiaoman couldn't help but sigh in her heart. Silly boy, I'm using you. Yet you developed true feelings for me. Having obtained these three beast records, Li Xian could be said to have gained wings like a tiger. What made Li Xian strange was, even though they were only tens of miles apart, Hu Xiaozong's people didn't pursue them further. Little did they know that the person under Su Xiaoman, when he found his way outside Broken Dao Pass, casually found a body and slipped into it. At the same time, he also gained all of this person's memories and abilities. Naturally, he also knew everything that had just happened. Just as he was adapting to this body, Hu Xiaozong's other reinforcements also arrived. Save me! Save me! This person, under Su Shiman, pretended to be severely injured, crying out, "Where did that despicable pair go?" A guard stood up and asked aloud. They went in that direction. This person pointed in another, opposite direction, thus leading Hu Xiaozong's people away. There were provisions available. After Li Xian and Su Shiman ate something, Su Shiman lay in Li Xian's arms and fell into a deep sleep. As for Li Xian, he took out thick clothes and spread them on a large rock. Then he took out some more clothes and covered Su Shiman with them. The bonfire burned, the branches thrown in, occasionally crackled. Under the firelight, Li Xian intently studied the 3 beast marks. The next morning, Li Xian rubbed his rested eyes. Su Shiman was still in his arms, curled up like a cute little kitten, asleep. After sensing Li Xian's body move slightly, Su Shiman also opened her eyes. The nearby bonfire had already extinguished, but there were still embers glowing, with wisps of green smoke drifting upwards. After packing their things, Li Xian and Su Shiman, by the riverbank not far away, washed up, then continued on their journey. After a night's rest, and with Li Xian cultivating the Thunderbolt Force diagram, all the spiritual energy within his body had completely recovered. Moreover, his spiritual energy reserve limit had also increased significantly. At this time, in the Li family of Lingyun City, 1,000 miles away, a group of people wearing black robes, on which was embroidered a majestic Qilin emblem, arrived at the Li family. Dozens of people, riding tall war horses, stopped at the entrance of the Li family. The guards at the family entrance, after seeing such an imposing group of people, immediately stepped forward to inquire. "Excuse me, are you here on official business for the Zenmosi? Get out of the way." The person leading them displayed an identity token, pushed that person aside and walked in. After the Li family heard the news, Li Zhan, with a group of elders, hurriedly went out to greet them. Before they even reached the entrance, the people from Zenmosi had already walked in with an imposing aura. "Esteemed sirs, we apologize for not having prepared a proper welcome for your sudden visit. Esteemed sirs, please come in quickly." Li Zhan quickly cleared a path and led the Zenmosi group into the main hall. "Esteemed sirs." Li Zhan was somewhat flustered as he looked at the Zenmosi group and asked in confusion. But before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted. "Has the only daughter of the Su family from Luyan City married into the Li family? The Su family's only daughter?" Li Zhan was slightly puzzled, then immediately realized. "The truth is, the Su family's only daughter married my rebellious son, Li Xian. Bring them out," the Zenmosi person coldly commanded. It was at this moment Li Zhan realized that this person was actually a Zenmosi direct guard. The Zenmosi is divided into 4 ranks, namely, Chief Zenmosi, the highest leader, Direct Guard Zenmosi, Senior Management, Bladebearer Zenmosi, the mainstay, and Situ, the lowest ranking member of the Zenmosi. But even the lowest ranking Situ, it is still in a big city, an existence no family dared to provoke. Even a mere blade wielder. Even the city lords of some subordinate cities had to show them great deference. And before their eyes, 1 sword wielder led 5 saber bearers. The remaining 10 Situ family members. The Li family had never seen such a display. "Esteemed sirs, you might not know. This rebellious son is my Li family's eldest son. But 10 days ago, at his coming-of-age ceremony, he had yet to awaken his powers. According to our clan's rules, he was betrothed to the Su family's only daughter, and then assigned to Yong'an County to manage the family business. But who knew he would get into a conflict with his own younger brother, and actually killed his own younger brother. Now he's wanted by my Li family and his whereabouts are unknown." Looking at Li Zhan's angry and fearful explanation, the Zenmosi commander's expression changed slightly. "Do you know the consequences of concealing information from the Zenmosi?" Yes, I know, esteemed sirs. I ask, in front of the esteemed sirs of the Zenmosi, who would dare to hide anything?" The Zenmosi commander's guard snorted softly. Then he stood up and walked out. Just as they exited the Li family's main gate, Lingyun City Lord arrived in a hurry. But who knew, the Zenmosi commander merely glanced at him out of the corner of his eye, and walked right past the city lord, not even acknowledging him. The city lord appeared bewildered. He looked at the Zenmosi personnel, then at the Li family members. After the Zenmosi personnel had left, the city lord hurriedly asked, "What was the Zenmosi's sudden visit about?" They came looking for my rebellious son. I reckon my rebellious son must have caused some trouble outside, Li Zhan said at a loss. Ah! The city lord was instantly startled. Let me tell you, Li Zhan, your Li family's matters. Don't you dare bring any trouble to my Lingyun city. Understood? Otherwise, I won't let you off. Yes, yes, city lord. Please rest assured, Li Zhan repeatedly said firmly. I will immediately announce to the world that rebellious son will be expelled from the Li family. I will completely sever all father-son ties with that rebellious son. If we ever meet again, it will be with blades drawn. That's very good. The city lord flicked his sleeve, then turned and left. Clip-clop, clip-clop. After the Zenmosi personnel exited the city, they galloped towards Luyan city. The city lord stood atop the city wall watching the group leave. He muttered. They even alarmed the Zenmosi commander. What else could have happened now? Just then, a guard from the city lord's manor hurriedly walked over. There's news that the Su family, a third-rate family from Luyuan City who married into the Li family, was completely massacred a few days ago. All 120 members of the family. It's rumored to be. As he spoke, the guard suddenly lowered his voice. What is it? Speak quickly. It was done by the Yingmei. The city lord's eyes widened instantly. The Yingmei came to Daxia? Weren't they eliminated by people from Dazhou 10 years ago? How did they end up in our Daxia again now? The city lord didn't know what these Yingmei truly were. A trusted aide beside the city lord asked doubtfully. The Yingmei are mysterious beings passed down from ancient times. They can possess human bodies and acquire all of that person's memories and abilities. No one knows what they truly look like. Perhaps there are even hidden Yingmei among us. We can't be sure. What? The aide immediately looked around in terror. Luyuan City. The Zenmosi group arrived here in less than half a day. Luyuan City Lord received the news and hurriedly brought people out to greet them. Luyuan City Lord, Zenmosi Commander Situ Jiaoyukin, upon seeing the Zenmosi leader, Commander Zhijian, Luyuan City Lord immediately knelt on one knee and went in to speak. The Zenmosi group entered the city swiftly and decisively. Then they came to the city lord's manor and stationed themselves there. There wasn't a trace of a smile on their faces, as if they were tireless machines. As soon as they sat down, they immediately asked, Tell me all the news from that day, in full detail, without holding anything back. Su Xianwan only arrived after the entire Su family was killed. The next morning. A moment later, the Zenmosi commander asked perplexedly, Why? For no apparent reason. Did they kill the entire family? Logically speaking, we hadn't yet discovered his identity at the time. Could it be that his family discovered his identity? Commander Zhijian's thoughts raced, pondering all the issues involved. But after thinking for a long time, he still couldn't find a reason. So where are they now? According to the scouts' report, yesterday they stayed overnight in Wuxia City. The next day, in the rain, they clashed with the presale sect, Tiger Roar sect. Li Xian, the eldest son of the Li family, killed a member of the Tiger Roar sect, and then fled Wuxia City. What? Zhenmo's? The Lord suddenly said, Isn't that Li Xian someone who hasn't awakened his powers? Isn't he a cripple? No. It said he hides his true strength very deeply, and according to the beast soul he displayed, the beast soul's age is at least 1,000 years. Lu Yanxing, the city lord, still valiant, said with some disbelief. Heh. Interesting. Unexpectedly, the lord couldn't help but ponder, and suddenly let out a clear laugh. It seems, if nothing unexpected happens, his killing of all 120 members of the Su family was for Li Xian of Pain. Discovered, even within the shadows, criminal methods. Zhenmo's. He immediately guessed all that had transpired. What interests me more now is that Li Xian. Does he truly know Su Shiman's identity, or not? If he knows, then this person's life is probably not long. The Lord deeply knew that Yingmei would not allow a human to know their identity. They hid in every possible way, precisely fearing exposure, hidden in the Su family. Dismantle the Li family. All these various actions were to hide their identity. Even because of worries about their identity being exposed, they could kill their entire family in one night without mercy. Lu Yuansheng and some SUC. It seems their destination for this trip should be Beast King Ridge. Zhenmo suddenly stood up. Notify the people of Tiger Roar sect. Share the whereabouts information with them. Let them go to Beast King Ridge first to intercept. The closer Su Shiman gets to Beast King Ridge, the more diverse the people she encounters. There are bandits, deserters, armies, and various people from sects appearing on the main road and small paths. Everyone passed by each other, watching each other warily. Li Xian made Su Shiman wear a long robe, even wearing a hat to cover her pure and charming face. This way, they could greatly reduce many unnecessary troubles. Beast King Ridge is a grand city. The army is outside the city. Army supplies are also here at Beast King Ridge. At the same time, it is close to the largest monster forest between two countries, a mountain range that cuts through it, splitting it in two. So, this place also supports a large number of mercenaries. Watching the people come and go, in this city located at the edge of the great monster forest, Li Xian finally breathed a sigh of relief. However, when Li Xian arrived at the Beast King Ridge city gate tower, he saw a crowd gathered by the city gate. Li Xian walked over curiously, stood on tiptoe and looked inside. At this sight, his expression immediately changed drastically. On the city wall, a wanted poster with a criminal's portrait was prominently displayed. Does anyone recognize the words on it? Come out and let everyone hear. Let me see, let me see. A young man with a scholarly air squeezed in. But the next moment, this person's expression suddenly changed. This is Zhen Mo's wanted order. The one next to it is from the presale sect, but the general content is the same. Recently, Li Xian, the eldest son of the Li family in Lingyun City, and his wife arrived in Beast King Ridge. Previously, Li Xian, the eldest son of the Li family, due to internal family conflicts, maliciously murdered his biological younger brother, Li Xiao, and was wanted by the Li family and Lingyun City. Later, Zhen Mo discovered that Li Xian's wife, Su Shiman, had close ties with the enemy nation, Great Zhou. Therefore, Li Xian and his wife are now wanted. Those who provide clues will be rewarded 1,000 taels. Those who capture them will be rewarded 100,000 taels. Additionally, a notice from the Li family of Lingyun City. Li Zhan, the patriarch of the Li family in Lingyun City, hereby announces to the world through this notice. I, Li Zhan, patriarch of the Li family, long ago, severed the father-son relationship with that rebellious son, Li Xian. If they meet again, it will be with blades drawn. After the scholarly-looking young man finished reading, the people around immediately began to discuss animatedly. The Li family was also afraid to actually sever the father-son relationship directly. They were certainly afraid of being implicated. The daughter-in-law is a traitor from an enemy nation. This is a crime punishable by extermination of the 9 generations. Just how beautiful, truly captivating, was the only daughter of the Su family, to make the eldest son of the Li family disregard everything and madly pursue her. Hey, you guys don't know, it's not at all what you're thinking. I just came from over there. Li Xian, the eldest son of the Li family, is a notorious good-for-nothing. He hadn't awakened his power even after 10 years. He was completely unfavored by Li Zhan. Even at his coming-of-age ceremony, Li Xian's final attempt to awaken his power also ended in failure. So he was sent by the family to another region to manage their affairs. Stiffly before execution, they only sent the Su family's only daughter to marry this Li Xian. After they left, the Li family's genius, who was Li Xian's own younger brother, was killed by bandits. I guess the Li family was afraid of bringing trouble upon themselves, so they claimed Li Xian killed his own younger brother. Then they told outsiders that they had severed ties long ago, completely washing their hands of the matter. After hearing this, everyone suddenly had an epiphany. But this Li Zhan is a bit too ruthless, isn't he? He even disowned his own son. If it were you, you'd do the same. Sacrificing one son to save a family, anyone with a bit of sense would do that, right? Wow, this reward is so generous. And Li Xian and his wife are still just ordinary people. This is just free money for us. Humph, you think it's that simple? Who issued this wanted notice? The Demon Suppressing Bureau. Even that Demon Suppressing Bureau issued this warrant. Do you think this money is easy to get? However, I guess this Li Xian is just a good-for-nothing, so he should be relatively easy to capture. The important thing is this Su Xianwan. She is merely a woman, yet she's an enemy nation's spy. Her methods are not to be underestimated. Upon hearing this, everyone suddenly understood. Li Xian tightly gripped Su Xianwan's hand, then silently left the crowd. Being wanted throughout the city, this Shouwang mausoleum was no longer safe. Just at this moment, Li Xian suddenly stopped. Then he immediately turned around, and he and Su Xianwan pretended to be shopping. The next moment, A group of dozens of people walked past from behind them. Glancing out of the corner of his eye, he saw that these people were none other than members of the Wuxia sect. Li Xian had truly underestimated these sect members. They possessed an enormous network, with every sect able to contact one another. Therefore, information transmission was quite swift. However, the main point doesn't seem to be here, does it? Li Xian slowly raised his head and looked at Su Xianwan beside him. A great Zhou spy? How is this possible? Judging from the wanted warrant, they were clearly coming for Su Xianwan. It seemed to have little to do with him. Could it be that? Was this the secret Xianwan had always hidden? Just as Li Xian was lost in doubt, suddenly someone patted Li Xian's shoulder. This truly startled Li Xian. He looked back to see a burly, somewhat honest-looking young man, carefully sizing up Li Xian. "Second brother, is it really you?" The man asked Li Xian, disbelief in his eyes. "Fourth brother." Li Xian's eyes widened instantly. "What are you doing here? Have you forgotten? 3 years ago, I said I was going to the Tiger's Den Pass to make a name for myself and achieve great things." Li Xian suddenly remembered. Back then, Li Xian and this person in front of him, along with 2 others, were known as the Four Wastes of Lingyun. They were utterly infamous. The eldest was Lin Tianxiao, the young master of the Lin family, the foremost family in Lingyun City. Although he had awakened his power, his aptitude was mediocre. Later, after he met Li Xian, they became addicted to debauchery. Then one time, he lost an entire street's worth of the Lin family's storefronts. He was directly caught by his old man and locked up for half a month, and even had a finger chopped off. The second brother was Li Xian. A good-for-nothing for 10 years, although he also hung around aimlessly with them, Li Xian always had his limits in everything. He never got deeply involved in anything. The third brother was named Wang Shower. His name was Shower, but everyone called him Third Brother or Xiao San. This kid came from the streets. He was a notorious subway hooligan, a thief and a robber. Several times he stole money from Li Xian and the other 3. One time he was caught, and this kid was beaten until his head bled, but he didn't even make a sound. Later, one time Lin Tianxiao, because of gambling, had his sister captured by someone. Wang Shower, by a stroke of luck, rescued Lin Tianxiao's sister. And so, through this back and forth, he also became one of the 4 wastes of Lingyun. The fourth brother was this honest and sturdy young man in front of them, named Zhoushan. This kid was the previous eldest young master of Lingyun City Lord's mansion. Because one time he couldn't stand a person in a brothel forcefully demanding a girl to drink with him, he accidentally beat that person to death. Who knew this person was actually from the capital, backed by the royal family of Daxia. Along with his old man, the city lord at the time, he was taken down. That year was exactly 3 years ago. His old man was so angry that he directly severed their father-son relationship. Zhoushan, as if in a fit of pique, declared he would go out and achieve great things. So he came to show Wang Li. Originally, he was going to join the army, but because army discipline was strict, he couldn't stand it and came to show Wang Li. He joined the local mercenary group. After 3 years, he actually outlasted the vice-captain and took over the position of vice-captain. Zhoushan subtly exuded an aura of ferocity. It seemed he had truly experienced a lot in these 3 years. "By the way, second brother, what exactly happened to you?" Zhoushan, with a shocked expression, asked in a low voice. But after looking around, he led Li Xian towards the city. "This isn't the place to talk. Follow me." Clearly, Zhoushan already knew about Li Xian's situation. Su Xianwan nervously clutched Li Xian's hand, looking at him. Li Xian smiled slightly, signaling Su Xianwan to relax. Because Zhoushan was someone Li Xian knew to be sincere and righteous. Back when the 4 of them were together, if he was told to hit someone, he'd hit them. If he was told to steal something from home, he'd steal it. If Zhoushan could help, perhaps they could evade Morse and Hu Xiaozong's people. Due to the wanted poster, there were many guards at Beiqing's gate. Li Xian and Su Xianwan pretended to be Zhoushan's subordinates, and easily entered Shouwang Ridge into the city. Shouwang City was filled with a heavy atmosphere. The ground was paved with huge stone blocks, and occasionally one could see marks of blade tips and sharp claws. Here, fighting was a common occurrence. The passers-by, not a single one had a smile or laughter on their faces. They brushed past each other, hurrying along, no one looking up at anyone else. Following Zhoushan, Li Xian soon arrived inside the city, at a large courtyard within a residential area. Every place had its different social strata. The massive Shouwang city was divided into 5 districts: the mercenary district, the commoner district, the commercial district, the city administration district, and the rich district where some wealthy, powerful, influential, and strong people resided. On the Tianyuan continent, the status of mercenaries, merchants, and commoners was second only to sex. Living their lives on the edge of a blade, they also possessed formidable strength. Their business scope covered all walks of life. Merchants hired them to protect their wealth, and some hired them to venture into the perilous monster beast forest to search for precious medicinal herbs. Anyway, as long as it's this kind of high-risk job, it's done by mercenaries. But high risk also comes with high reward. They entered a large compound. Li Xian saw all sorts of burly, motley mercenaries inside. Most of them were at the bronze beastmaster level. Occasionally, silver beastmasters appeared, but there were almost no gold beastmasters. From this, it could also be seen that Zhou Shan's mercenary group strength was only at a mid-tier level. In the compound, there was a 3-story building. Li Xian followed and arrived on the 3rd floor. Then, he entered along the corridor to the innermost room. After entering, Zhou Shan locked the door. "Second brother, what exactly happened? How did this wanted poster get here?" Zhou Shan asked, turning around after closing the door. Li Xian had been holding Su Xianwan's hand the whole time. Upon seeing Zhou Shan close the door, he immediately became nervous. "Second brother, what wretched luck!" Seeing Li Xian's nervous appearance, Zhou Shan immediately got angry. "If you weren't a little vigilant on this journey, you'd probably be dead." Zhou Shan sighed. He nodded, indicating understanding. The room's furnishings were simple. There was a bed, some tables, chairs, benches, and a cabinet. Zhou Shan poured some tea for Li Xian, while he himself opened a pot of wine. "Tell me, how do you need my help?" Zhou Shan didn't ask what exactly happened to Li Xian. He just asked straightforwardly. "I need to go to Dazhou." "Sister-in-law is really from Dazhou?" Zhou Shan looked incredulously at Su Xianwan, who was wrapped in stone beside him. He asked in shock, "Do you really believe what's written on that?" "To tell you the truth, your sister-in-law's family was framed. All 120 members of her family were killed. If she hadn't come to me a few days ago, she would probably have been silenced too," Li Xian said, finding an excuse. "What about you? Did Uncle Li really cut ties with you? Did you really kill your brother, Li Xiao?" Hearing this, Li Xian pondered for a moment. Finally, he nodded. Regarding Su Xianwan, Li Xian could find an excuse, but regarding himself, Li Xian didn't want to lie to Zhou Shan. Firstly, there was their bond. Secondly, mixing truth with falsehood would prevent Zhou Shan from being suspicious. Heh, but this is good too. I no longer have to see those people's faces. Li Xian gave a bitter laugh, shaking his head helplessly. You know, from childhood to adulthood, was I ever truly looked upon with respect in that family? Seeing Li Xian like this, Zhou Shan reached out and patted Li Xian's shoulder. "It's all right, second brother. Stay here from now on. You and I, brothers, will build our fortune together." "Oh, right. Everyone says you still haven't awakened your beast power, but some people say you've already awakened it, and even killed someone from the Tiger Roar sect. Is this true?" Li Xian nodded. "It's true. By a stroke of luck, I awakened my beast power, and absorbed the soul of a 500-year-old wolf beast. Now I'm already a silver beast master." "Really? Haha, brother. I'm also a silver beast master. If you join our mercenary group, we brothers can grow stronger together and create new glory." Zhou Shan immediately became excited. Because, given the current situation in Beast King City, for any mercenary group, the addition of a silver beastmaster is a pillar of strength. They are objects that all major mercenary groups would fight tooth and nail to snatch away. But before that, don't we need to get 2 identities for us? Right. Zhou Shan suddenly realized. Don't worry about that. In this Beast King City, all sorts of people come and go. Getting 2 identities is too simple for me. You 2 stay here. I'll be right back. Then many thanks, brother. What's with all this talk between brothers? With that, Zhou Shan left. Li Xian also stood up, watching Zhou Shan leave. Not until he had left the courtyard and passed through the main gate did he sit down. "Husband, I'm scared." Su Xianwan took off her mask and hat and nestled into Li Xian's embrace. "Don't be afraid. Once we get another identity, we'll blend in a bit and everything will be fine." Li Xian patted Su Xianwan's shoulder, comforting her. But I always feel that this brother of yours isn't reliable. Unreliable? Impossible. Among the four of us, he's the most dependable. Li Xian said with a smile. Don't you know that time can change a person? Su Xianwan sat up from Li Xian's embrace and said seriously, 3 years. Do you know what he's been through in 3 years? And he's been near the border front line, on the edge of the turbulent great demonic beast forest. All sorts of shady characters from all walks of life are here. What do we represent now? A walking 200,000 tales. Hearing Su Xianwan say this, Li Xian's heart suddenly skipped a beat. Why did they encounter Zhoushan just as they arrived at the gates of Shouwang City? Empty string for this line as it's part of the previous thought. And why was he recognized by Zhoushan at a glance? Could it be that he was already waiting at the city gate? Because only he understood Li Xian the best. Among familiar people, even a single glance or a silhouette is enough for recognition. Thinking back, Li Xian was dressed tightly, with only his eyes visible. Yet Zhoushan recognized him at a glance. And upon arriving here, he subconsciously wanted to lock the door. All these factors told Li Xian that something was wrong with Zhoushan. Thinking of this, Li Xian immediately stood up and looked outside. With that look, Li Xian's expression instantly changed. The bustling courtyard, which had been full of mercenaries, was now completely empty. Damn it! Li Xian cursed under his breath, rushing to open the door. But the door was already locked tight. Quick, let's go! He turned and walked to Su Xianwan. Li Xian pulled Su Xianwan up, about to leave. With a grunt, Li Xian fiercely kicked open the wooden door. Coming out, he looked down. Hundreds of people were gathered at the courtyard entrance, simply staring up at the two of them on the upper floor. Looking around, Li Xian saw Zhoushan leading a group of people, walking and pointing towards their location. He didn't know what they were saying. Looking at their attire, Li Xian's expression instantly darkened. Wu Xiaozong fiercely smashed a fist on the wall. Li Xian looked around, then picked up Su Xianwan and leaped. He jumped directly from the 3rd floor. Before he even landed, a giant howling moon silver wolf appeared beneath Li Xian. Beneath him, a Wu, the phantom of the howling moon silver wolf roared, carrying Li Xian as it leaped onto the rooftop to their right. They're running. Quick, chase them. Notify the city gate guards to seal the gates. The mercenaries at the entrance immediately shouted loudly. The mercenary district mostly consisted of 1- or 2-story buildings. The howling moon silver wolf on the rooftops escaped them in just a few leaps. But the next moment, Li Xian looked back and saw dozens of people riding tiger-type beast souls, hot on their heels. Moreover, there were also many flying beast souls rapidly catching up. Only the flying beast souls were relatively fast. After all, there were no obstacles for them. The other land beasts simply couldn't match the speed of the howling moon silver wolf. Li Xian remembered the way they had come. He desperately rushed towards the city gate. Shouwang City was not lacking in powerful experts. If they alarmed them, it would be a dead end. So Li Xian couldn't run around aimlessly. He could only return the way they came and leave Shouwang City. On the wide street, the giant howling moon silver wolf frantically fled. Pedestrians on the road were directly sent flying. Just as they were about to reach the city gate, Li Xian suddenly saw that group of guards was actually closing the city gates. The howling moon silver wolf accelerated and charged forward. Li Xian slapped the howling moon silver wolf's head and shouted. At the same time, he directly activated his points module. Whoosh! It was like a gust of wind blowing past. Xiao Yuinglang's speed was comparable to a sports car going 180 miles per hour. They're in. They were about to rush to the city gate. Who knew? Dozens of guards rushed over with guns. Li Xian dared not get entangled with them at this moment. Dot them. Xiao Yuinglang leaped. A single jump reached a height of over 10 meters. They bypassed the guards and arrived at the city gate. The city gate was closed. Only a gap remained, wide enough for Jin Rong to pass through. Li Xian released Su Xianwan. He told her to hold tightly onto Xiao Yuinglang. Then, stepping on Xiao Yuinglang's head, he jumped straight down. There were only 3 guards responsible for opening the gate. After Li Xian went down, he immediately activated the beast skill, Wind Thunder Triple Kill. Swish, 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 the force transformed into 3 streaks of light, directly severing the heads of the 3 men. Boom! Li Xian stepped forward and forcefully pushed open the city gate. But the moment the city gate was opened, Li Xian's expression suddenly changed drastically. Outside the gate, hundreds of guards stood uniformly. Looking back, Zhou Shan, leading the mercenaries, and people from the Tiger Roar sect also rushed over. Seeing this, Li Xian forcefully closed the city gate. Then he coldly walked towards Zhou Shan and the others. 3 years unseen. You've become quite slippery. Fourth brother, second brother, surrender, you can't escape. 3 years of hardship. I am no longer the Zhou Shan of before. Zhou Shan persuaded, don't worry. As long as you surrender and hand over the woman beside you, I can make sure they don't kill you and spare your life. Yes, in 3 years you have indeed grown a lot. But you've turned into a dog, Zhou Shan. You really are a dog. You betrayed me for 200,000? This isn't about 200,000. Second brother, you know, I don't lack that amount of money. But perhaps you don't know yet. I'm also a member of the Zenmosi. Capture this woman, and I can directly become a blade-wielding guard, brothers. Help me, won't you? So that's how it is. Li Xian suddenly understood. However, the 200,000 and the promotion certificate are right here. Come and get them. Li Xian pointed to Su Xianwan beside him. He coldly said, brothers of the Tiger Roar sect, this matter also concerns you. Capture him, and 200,000 is yours. That woman belongs to me, Zhou Shan said to the people of the Tiger Roar sect beside him. The people of the Tiger Roar sect immediately spread out, surrounding Li Xian. At this moment, Li Xian was inside the city gate archway. The city gate behind him was locked shut. Only a fight could save him. Zhou Shan, after today, our bond is severed. The next time we meet, it will be with blades drawn. After speaking, Li Xian recalled Xiao Yuinglang. Seeing that Li Xian actually recalled Xiao Yuinglang, everyone immediately became confused. Isn't this the rhythm for a fight? What? Is he going to surrender? Li Xian's actions made even Su Xianwan, who was beside him, feel strange. Just when she thought Li Xian was really going to hand her over, Li Xian showed Su Xianwan with his actions that he would never abandon her. The next moment, accompanied by the sound of hooves, a huge black ox-rib beast soul appeared behind Li Xian. The enormous body of the shadow ox demon almost couldn't fit into the city gate archway. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they all widened their mouths in shock. Li Xian, holding Su Xianwan, leaped up onto the shadow ox demon. He looked down at Zhou Shan. Zhou Shan, 3 years unseen. You've changed, and so have I. You are no longer that simple and honest Zhou Shan. And I am no longer that good for nothing. After speaking, Li Xian roared, 10,000 horses gallop. Boom! The entire city gate was burst open by the enormous phantom of the shadow ox demon. Amidst the shattered stones, the shadow ox demon turned around and thundered towards the collapsed city gate behind them. Outside, hundreds of guards were directly trampled by the ox hooves, or sent flying by the enormous ox horns. The iron ladder, at some unknown point, lost its balance, which led everyone to rush out of the ruins. But they saw Li Xian riding a giant shadow ox demon and riding off into the distance. He actually has more than one beast soul. I thought that wolf was already his limit. Who would have thought this ox is even more terrifying than that wolf? No wonder. He could kill a golden jade beast master from our wuxia sect. What? Zhou Shan, who was nearby, immediately widened his eyes. He can kill a golden jade beast master? That's right. Conservatively estimated, this kid has already almost broken through to the golden jade beast master rank. The people from Guxiao sect said with grave expressions. But the next moment, Zhou Shan instantly exploded in rage. Damn it! Why wasn't this intelligence reported earlier? If I had known he had such strength, I would have stalled until the Zenmosi people arrived. Just at this moment, at another fork in the road outside Beast King City, a group of people, all riding uniformed black warhorses, quickly arrived at the city gate. Judging by the attire of these people, they were clearly from the Zenmosi. What happened? The leader was none other than Zenmosi. He saw a guard. This guard, upon seeing the Beast King City gates had collapsed, seeing the city gates of Beast King City collapse with a roar, immediately asked with a stern voice, Beast King territory, Beast King City, Beast King mercenary group's vice leader, Zenmosi, Xianjing Situ. The Lord, upon seeing this person, Zhou Shan immediately stepped forward, kneeling on one knee. You are Zhou Shan? Where are Li Xian and the others? Zhenmosi asked coldly. Reporting, Lord Zhenmosi, Li Xian and his wife. Zhou Shan bowed his head deeply, his heart filled with dread. But he still truthfully said, They escaped. They just left a moment ago. Useless. Then why aren't you chasing them quickly? Zhenmosi flew into a rage. Lead the way. Zhou Shan suddenly looked up and shouted. Before long, Zhou Shan led the Beast King mercenary group to rush in the direction Li Xian had fled. The Zhenmosi people followed closely behind, while the people from Wuxia sect and others also followed. Reporting, Lord Zhenmosi. They are heading towards the great monster forest. On the way of pursuit, Zhou Shan said to Zhenmosi and his group. What was that monstrous shadow demonic chi just now? That Li Xian summoned a giant black ox demon beast soul. Lord Zhenmosi, what you call shadow demonic chi, should be what that ox emitted. It seems Li Xian was able to recover his strength, and it has a direct connection to Su Xuan. Lord Zhenmosi speculated. Moreover, Li Xian very likely already knows Su Xuan's identity, and it should be Su Xuan who granted him immense power. It must be that Su Xia and others granted him immense power, which is why Li Xian would protect her at all costs. Along the way, they could see some mercenaries. By questioning these people, Zhou Shan was able to keep track of Li Xian's movements. Ha! Lord Zhenmosi, they don't understand the great monster forest. This path is a dead end. Beyond it lies the Two Realms cliff. There's simply no other way out. Zhou Shan, seeing the path others were pointing to, immediately reported with excitement. Everyone, split up and surround the Two Realms cliff. Immediately Zhenmosi, the Beast King mercenary group, as well as the people from Wuxia sect, revealed their true forms and surrounded the Two Realms cliff. At this time, Li Xian and Su Xuan had already reached the Two Realms cliff's edge. Looking at the 10,000 zhang abyss, Li Xian's expression immediately darkened. Go this way. Li Xian continued to walk forward, but ahead was still a broken cliff. The Two Realms cliff was an oval-shaped precipice. Just at this moment, Zhenmosi and the others narrowed their encirclement, all closing in. Looking into the dense forest, at the figures surrounding them from there, he stubbornly looked down again. But below, the cliff face was terrifyingly sheer and bottomless. No one knew what truly lay beneath. Looking forward, there was indeed a cliff on the opposite side, but the two cliffs were more than 10 zhang apart from each other. Even riding the school mount Silver Wolf, it couldn't leap across. That's right. Just at this moment, Li Xian's eyes suddenly lit up. The glorious radiance. The glorious radiance, with 2 pairs of wings, could fly. Flying beast souls could all carry beast masters in flight. Letting the glorious radiance carry himself and Su Xianwan, they could easily fly across this cliff of more than 10 zhang. And the cliff on the other side was the territory of the great continent. After crossing, Zhenmozi's people wouldn't dare to pursue them. However, just as Li Xian was about to summon the glorious radiance to fly away, Su Xianwan, who was beside him, suddenly grabbed Li Xian. Wait a moment. Li Xian immediately stopped. Then, he looked in the direction Su Xianwan was staring. Zhenmozi's group had already appeared in their sight. They slowly but surely surrounded them. And Zhenmoz, who was leading them, was seen wearing a black Qilin robe. He coldly threw a person in front of them. Su Xianwan, do you recognize this person? Following his gaze, the person thrown to the ground was surprisingly a mere 14 or 15-year-old girl. Xiao. Su Xianwan's expression turned cold. She called out the girl's name. At this moment, Li Xian clearly felt that within Su Xianwan's body earth-shattering changes were occurring. Her expression and aura were unlike anything Li Xian had ever seen. Do you think you've escaped? Zhenmoz, the protector, sneered. Do you know this little girl? Do you need me to introduce her to you? Xiao, the little princess of the great Xia imperial family. But in reality, she is the biological sister of the Shadow Plum leader. The Shadow Plum has no physical form. It needs to attach to a human body to survive. You and it were originally separated from the same wisp of dark shadow demonic energy. I truly didn't expect that your sister would actually possess the little princess of the great Xia imperial family. If it weren't for our Lord Zhenmozi's timely discovery, the consequences for our great Xia imperial family would have been unimaginable. However, do you think your Shadow Plum can absorb memories? We, Zhen Mo's faction, have been fighting with your shadow plum for hundreds of years. And we have also discovered the soul-probing technique for extracting memories. Unfortunately, from Xiaoxiao's mind, we obtained all information about your shadow plum, including you, Su Xianwan, the esteemed leader of the shadow plum. Zhen Mo said all this proudly. But Li Xian, who was beside them, was completely stunned. He had originally been holding Su Xianwan's hand tightly, but Li Xian slowly let go. Su Xianwan seemed not to notice Li Xian's action, merely looking at Xiaoxiao lying on the ground with emotionless eyes. What do you want? Su Xianwan spoke. But that voice was like the ghostly wail from the 9 netherworlds. Gone was the adorable, coquettish demeanor she had shown before Li Xian. Nothing much, just letting you know. Also, don't even think about negotiating terms with us. In your current predicament, you have no such qualifications. A guard stepped forward and directly stepped on Xiaoxiao. Shadow Plum, may you die a terrible death. Don't even dream of escaping. 10 years ago, you were struck by our Lord Zhen Mo's soul-suppressing spike. Now your strength is only equivalent to that of a platinum jade beast master. I alone can take you down, a mere platinum jade beast master. And that's after being injured, with strength that hasn't fully recovered. Then, what was Su Xianwan's peak strength? How strong was it exactly? At this moment, Li Xian stared intently at Su Xianwan. The information brought by Zhen Mo's completely overturned Li Xian's understanding of Su Xianwan. He had originally thought she was just hiding some other things, but he never expected Su Xianwan's origin to be so complex and incredible. But the next moment, Su Xianwan suddenly let out a loud laugh. It's merely a struggle of a few decades. Do you think your Zhen Mo's understands Yingmei well? I tell you, you don't understand us at all. Do you think I'll just surrender if you capture him? Xiaoxiao, end your life. However, what Su Xianwan didn't expect was, Xiaoxiao actually shook her head helplessly. They used soul-suppressing nails to completely trap me within this body. I don't even have a chance to commit suicide. Alright, since that's the case, rest in peace. As she spoke, Su Xianwan raised her hand to attack. But at this moment, a large hand directly grabbed Su Xianwan's hand. Su Xianwan turned back, startled, to look at Li Xian. However, what appeared before her was Li Xian's gentle smile. Fighting and killing just leave to us men. Su Xianwan looked at Li Xian with a bewildered expression. The next moment, Li Xian gently pulled her, pulling Su Xianwan behind him. Zhen Mo's city's forces. Li Xian looked up at the people in front of him. No matter what, I'm still her husband. You come to seize someone without a word? Don't you even ask for my opinion? The guard suddenly let out a sneer. It's just that this Yingmei helped you awaken your power, allowing you to obtain a beast soul that surpasses ordinary people, and gave you some confidence, right? What do you think you are in front of Zhen Mo's? You're not even an ant, do you know that? Even your entirely family of Lingyun City is worse than trash in front of Zhen Mo's. A puppet whose mind has been bewitched by Yingmei, what right do you have to show off in front of us? Do you think your so-called machismo and heroism will move your so-called wife? I'm telling you, everything you've sacrificed is just her using you. Do you know that? Are you done talking? Li Xian silently watched all of this, completely unmoved. As you said, the Li Jia is trash in my eyes. From the moment I left Li Jia, I had nothing to do with them. But actually, I'm very grateful to them. Because when I was still with Li Jia, they married Su Xianwan to me. From the moment Su Xianwan married me, I swore I would protect her with my life for this entire lifetime. I once had doubts. I knew Su Xianwan was different. But I didn't expect her origin to be so extraordinary. What does that matter? At least from the time she married me until now, she has never harmed me. She accompanied me all the way here and gave me unprecedented belief. Therefore, for everything today, my wife and I will share life and death together. At this moment, Su Xianwan stared intently at Li Xian's back. A tear slowly slid down from the corner of her eye. At this moment, the countless memories of people she had devoured were completely chaotic. Su Xianwan didn't know if the feelings at this moment were from those devoured memories, or from Yingmei herself. No, this can't be real. Yingmei has no emotions. These must be the emotions emitted by those devoured memories. All this time I've been using him, and when the time is ripe, I will still unhesitatingly devour his memories and abilities. Right? That's how it is. But why am I crying? Su Xianwan stood there, at a loss for what to do. staring intently at Li Xian's back. At this moment, for the first time, she felt that a man could truly be so towering in her heart. Because from the moment she was born, from the moment she gained consciousness, she had never encountered a man in this world who truly made her admire and submit. But at this moment, it was this man, with his low cultivation, who had a bit of luck, and only the strength of a silver jade beast master, who made her feel for the first time this is what a man should truly be like. Clap, clap, clap. A round of applause suddenly rang out. The guard shook his head in admiration and said, "Ing Mei, I have to say, your methods are truly admirable. Now, you don't even need to devour. Just by charming with your looks, you can make people risk their lives for you. This kind of conquest from the heart is the most insane. But kid, you will pay the price of your life for your pathetic and humble love." As he spoke, behind the guard, a gigantic figure slowly emerged, a golden praying mantis wielding twin blades. The 500-year soul beast, soul-slaying twin-blade mantis. Li Xian was not afraid in the slightest. The phantom of smiling moon welcoming wolf behind him slowly materialized. "Get ready to save your sister." Li Xian's voice entered Su Xianwan's ears, waking her up. 1,000-year beast soul. I'm truly seeing 1,000-year beast soul within. The guard's eyes lit up. But then he said regretfully, "What a pity. Just a silver jade beast master. Unable to unleash much power. If you reached my level, a platinum jade beast master, perhaps I wouldn't be your match. But now, go to hell." As his voice fell, the inner sword guard leaped up. The soul-slaying twin-blade mantis behind him instantly merged into his body. The ability of a human-beast fusion gold jade beast master. And at this moment, the inner sword guard also had 2 long swords in his hands. The long swords were as sharp as the mantis's twin blades. He fiercely slashed them towards Li Xian. Facing a platinum jade beast master, Li Xian was not afraid. Because behind him was the woman he had to protect. Even if the enemy was powerful, wind thunder. However, at this moment, a sudden powerful force pulled Li Xian back. Whoosh! A fleeting sensation. The guard's twin swords then crashed to the ground. And at this moment, Li Xian was pulled behind Su Xianwan by Su Xianwan. Too fast. Simply too fast. Li Xian watched this scene in shock. If I hadn't been pulled back just now, my wind thunder 3 kills wouldn't even have been unleashed, and I would have been hit by that sword guard. Husband, I am very grateful that even after knowing my identity, you still stood up for me, but you are still not his match. Su Xianwan said with a solemn expression. But just as he said, I have been using you from beginning to end, do you understand? In my eyes, you are nothing but a tool, just a puppet. So, don't be so sentimental. I know you have a flying beast. Leave this place by yourself. After speaking, Su Xianwan looked up at the guard. Today, all of you will die. As her voice fell, behind Su Xianwan, a ferocious and terrifying beast soul slowly emerged. That beast soul was like a demon from the abyss, slowly crawling out from within Su Xianwan's body. It was a creature entirely black, a mysterious monster shrouded in dark shadow demonic energy. Dark shadow demonic energy entwined its entire body, making its true appearance impossible to discern. With just a shot into the void, Su Xiaoxiao, who was lying on the ground in the distance, was sucked over, and then landed in front of Li Xian. If you still care about our marital affection, do me one last favor, take her and go, and never come back. Looking at Su Xiaoxiao lying on the ground, Li Xian felt a pang of reluctance in his heart, but he still picked her up. Then the bright envoy beast soul suddenly appeared. A gigantic figure, emitting a golden glow, a humanoid beast soul with 2 pairs of wings, caused those in the distance, the Beast King mercenary group led by Jin Moses and Zhoushan, to instantly turn pale with fright. A fierce wolf-type beast soul. A gigantic ox-type beast soul. This kid actually has another mysterious humanoid beast soul. What kind of beast soul is that? Surprisingly, can a human even be a beast soul? With wings. It's not human. It's an angel beast soul, unseen throughout history. Seeing Li Xian about to leave with Su Xiaoxiao, Jin Moses and the others swarmed forward, wanting to stop them. As soon as they made their move, Su Xianwan let out a roar. Colossal dark shadow demonic chi swept forth. Dozens of people were instantly sent flying. Only the visible guards and the saber-wielding guards, among others, desperately held their ground. Li Xian robustly picked up Xianxia. With a single leap, he flew out of Two Realms cliff. Then, he flew towards the continent's territory, a dozen zhang away. Mid-flight, Li Xian hurriedly circulated his energy to connect with the sacred scroll of light. Using the abilities of the sacred scroll of light, he began to heal her. This girl was struck by a soul-suppressing nail. We can only heal her external injuries to allow her to move. But we cannot remove the soul-suppressing nail. To whatever extent she can be healed, that's how much we will heal her. The next moment, golden light enveloped Xianxia. At this moment, Xianxia, her eyes fixed on Li Xian, feeling the healing energy within her body. Xianxia suddenly laughed. "Are you my brother-in-law?" At this question, Li Xian was momentarily stunned. Properly married, wedding night, through life and death. "What do you say, is that not so?" Xianxia didn't answer, pondering Li Xian's words. Not long after, they arrived at the opposite cliff. Putting her down, Li Xian said to Xianxia, "Your physical injuries have already recovered, but I have no solution for the soul-suppressing nail inside you. I can only allow you to move, but cannot remove the soul-suppressing nail. You must leave here quickly." "Then aren't you leaving with me?" Xianxia asked in confusion. "Leave? My wife is still over there. How can I leave?" Li Xian scoffed, then waved his hand and said, "Hurry and leave. I have already accomplished what I promised your sister." "You're going back?" Xianxia asked, looking at Li Xian in shock. But the only answer he received was Li Xian's resolute back. "You'll die if you go back. He's very formidable. Nothing will happen. Come with me." "You lunatic. We are Ingmei. You are human. Is it worth it for you to sacrifice all this for a Ingmei?" Li Xian suddenly stopped, then turned his head slightly, turning sideways to reveal half his face. He revealed a smile and said, "Perhaps if I leave with you, I will live, but I won't be happy. A person's entire life must be for something. In my previous life, I idled away my days. In this life, I accomplished nothing, until I met Sister Ning." Having finished speaking, Li Xian walked to the edge of the cliff, and with a leap, flew out. Xianxia was just about to say something, but Li Xian had already flown away. Live but not be happy. A person's entire life must be for something. Xianxia, then, pondering Li Xian's words, finally left. Before leaving, he suddenly smiled. "How could I not want to save my sister? But I also have no duty. I must survive." Gradually, Xianxia disappeared into the dense forest of the continent's cliff. Huffing and puffing, at this moment on Two Realms cliff, Sun Wan and the visible guards collided in midair, then both were forced back. After landing, all were panting heavily, and nearby, bodies littered the ground. The Shouwang mercenary group and Zenmosi, all the Situ and saber-wielding guards, had all suffered heavy casualties. Even the people of Wuxia hid far away, for fear of getting caught in the crossfire. But they did not leave, but were silently watching the battle, waiting for an opportunity to deliver a fatal blow to the Ingmei. The Ingmei leader truly lives up to their reputation. Even after being struck by the soul-suppressing nail, they can still reach the realm of a platinum jade beastmaster. This is truly surprising. The guards looked at Su Shenwan in disbelief. They had originally thought victory was in their grasp. Who knew the losses would be so severe? But it also ends here. Saying that, the direct guard took out 3 thick, black nails. Su Shenwan, robust as she was, instantly felt her pupils constrict. Soul-suppressing nails. That's right, my Sifu instructed me before he left, never to use the soul-suppressing nails unless absolutely necessary. But now I need to capture her. And these soul-suppressing nails in Shadow Maiden's hand can be put to good use. No waste at all. Swish, swish, swish. The 3 finished soul-suppressing nails flew over by themselves. Su Shenwan turned pale with fright. The beast soul formed by black dark demonic energy behind her let out a fatal breath, wanting to strike down the soul-suppressing nails. But these soul-suppressing nails were prepared to restrain Shadow Maiden. As the dark demonic energy approached, it was all scattered. There was no avoiding them. Su Shenwan looked at the bottomless abyss behind her, and prepared to jump down. If these 3 soul-suppressing nails were to pierce her body, Su Shenwan would surely die. But at this critical moment, a figure descended from the sky. Chi chi chi. The 3 soul-suppressing nails fiercely shot into the figure's body. Ah! Pained cry rang out. Just as Su Xianwan was about to jump off the cliff to commit suicide, she suddenly turned her head to look. She saw that 3 meters away, Li Xian was kneeling on both knees, his arms supporting him on the ground, letting out painful screams. Husband! Seeing this scene, Su Xianwan instantly went berserk. This soul-shaking tremor, Su Xianwan found its source. She knew her crying, her sorrow, her emotion, came from her original body of dark demonic energy, and not from the countless memories she had devoured. She was moved by the man before her. She had never believed it before, but now she believed it. She had fallen in love with him. She, a shadow maiden without emotions, had gained emotions. She had fallen in love with this man. Husband! Husband! Su Xianwan reigned in the beast soul formed by dark demonic energy behind her, and rushed over recklessly. The 3 soul-suppressing nails had pierced deeply into his back, the tips of the nails faintly visible on his chest. At this moment, Li Xian's chest was a bloody mess. Damn it! The guard behind him cursed under his breath, and with a leap, he was about to pounce, intending to put Su Xianwan to death. Li Xian felt the movement behind him. Using his last ounce of strength, he roared loudly, "Glorious history of light! I command you to take my wife away. Quickly! Take my wife to the opposite cliff." Golden light burst forth from Li Xian's entire body. The glorious history of light reappeared. Upon hearing the command, the glorious history of light picked up Su Xianwan and flew towards the opposite side. Husband! Su Xianwan struggled free from the restraint, holding Li Xian tightly, refusing to let go. Go! Go! I beg you, hurry and leave. Let me do one last thing for you. Even if this matter means becoming an enemy of the world, let me not regret it, okay? You go! Li Xian used his last ounce of strength to pry Su Xianwan's hands open. Su Xianwan stared fixedly at Li Xian, 2 streams of tears ceaselessly rolling down her face. Finally, Su Xianwan directly threw the origin ring in her hand to Li Xian. Before Li Xian finally lost consciousness, he put the origin ring into his own precept ring. Watching Su Xianwan being carried away, Li Xian's vision blurred. At that moment, the direct guard's twin swords had already arrived. Li Xian gritted his teeth, using all his strength, and then leaped, throwing himself towards the bottomless abyss. But it was still too late. The direct guard's twin swords unhesitatingly pierced Li Xian's back. 3 soul-suppressing nails, plus 2 piercing sword thrusts. Li Xian spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, and then completely fainted. Li Xian, who originally didn't have enough strength to jump off the cliff, was fiercely pushed off the cliff under the impetus of those 2 sword thrusts. And the glorious history of light, which had just reached the edge of the opposite cliff, due to losing Li Xian's spiritual support, dissipated between heaven and earth, returning to the precept prison. The guard was greatly alarmed. He hadn't expected that he would ultimately provide a push, pushing Li Xian into the bottomless abyss. If Li Xian were captured, perhaps he could still force Ying Mei to appear. Alas, he had gained nothing now. However, the guard immediately reconsidered. Even if this fellow were captured, given Ying Mei's temperament, she probably wouldn't come to rescue him. Looking at the disappearing Su Xianwan across from him, the guard let out a cold snort, then turned and departed, leaving behind only the state of imbalance.